Let's see her again.
One away from a cluster strike. Yes, he gets it. And look at this. Just spamming it. And that's going to be a triple with the pred. Takes him out.
Luffy just tries to outplay Cisco and won't be able to back castle from my lord, Luffy! Everything out here.
Yeah, the rest of this team members just doing a lot. You know, if you have your teammates popping off and like just like that, if you're hitting those shots, nasty shot, make it 3 in a row.
Now being outshined. Yes, they did quite a good job getting up to that 100-point mark. But in the second half, it's just been one name being read out again and again and again, and that is Rampage. They are going to be able to equalize in a couple of people will make a better comeback here, but they have to focus on breaking the spawn first.
Yeah, breaking that spawn first indeed now, but you know, 7 here has that SKS. We usually see an SVD here, but 5 kill streak for him. It's been working out. Make that 6. Can he make it 7? One away from a cluster strike. Yes, he gets it. And look at this, just spamming it, and that's gonna be a triple with the pred. Takes him out, and the doctor. They are struggling. He wants to go for it. Annihilator still alive. 7 is just on a tear here.
Much spawn trapping all of these players, and now finally making his way for that A flag, and he's just playing pure distraction all on him. My goodness me, Yato. Just use your score streaks already, boy. He doesn't even need to bring any of them out, because this is just such a dominating run, and Yato's just trying to get melee over all of these players, who will be able to find yet another punch behind the back of the head. And
Holy crap.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Simon Ghost Riley, looking fancy.
This looks like an ending, but it isn't. This is just the beginning.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Call of Duty Mobile Garena Masters Day number 7 of the group stages, where we will see 2 more teams move on to the playoffs and 2, unfortunately, say goodbye to the rest of us. My name is AJ. I'm the Mustachio, down here with the one and only VVV Jericho to bring you guys all of the commentary from the day.
Yes, you're right, AJ. Welcome, guys. Today number 7, actually, guys. This is our second to the last day of the group stage. Like what AJ said, 4 has already qualified. We need 4 more, guys. So another crazy day. The part 2 of the group of death. This is going to be an Omega, Aguila, Huntsman, and Fury, all vying for that top 2. But we kind of have a clear picture who's going to be that top 1. But that second place, that's where things really get heated.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But, you know, Omega, they've shown some signs of weakness as well. We saw exactly how dominant the side of Huntsman were in that one hardpoint match.
One game.
But, you know, it's just that one game. But apart from that, it kind of all broke down for the Malaysian side. And Omega, they just overtook that situation very, very easily. Will Huntsman be able to bring in that same sort of fire that we saw at that hardpoint matchup in here today? Because if they are, then perhaps we are on for a absolute upset. Even if not an upset, perhaps they will be able to to push them into match number 5? We don't know. We just have to see exactly how the day goes. But like Jericho said, we probably can't guess exactly which is going to be that number 1 team that moves on to the playoffs. But in terms of Aguila Esports, Huntsman, as well as Team Fury, Fury has not won any series in here so far. Huntsman only have 1 on their side, and Aguila Esports with 2 victory. Will that continue, or will there be a change in position here as well? Perhaps today is the day Team Fury rises up to the top, Jericho.
Just maybe, but I feel like even if they do win 3 straight, I think the head-to-head, the losses that they took in those first 2 days for them, I think that's the one that's really, it's not really going to matter anymore, because the head-to-head here, it's about those stats, guys, unfortunately. But I mean, if they do win 3 straight, I mean, that's a great accomplishment for Fury. I mean, coming back from the graves. But first, let's take a look at our tournament format and why we are actually, why is it very important today? So we started with 256 teams, guys. We ended up with 16 qualified teams. We broke it down into 4 groups, and for those 4 groups, top 2 from each group will qualify the playoffs. That's why you see Almighty, CA United, M4 Tokyo Kings, 7-9 already qualified for that top 8.
Yeah, and for the first time in a long time since the whole community has been waiting, we have double round robins for the group stages. So in here today, you are going to see the second half of this double round robin for specifically Group C. Group D is not going to be in participation. That's going to be the final day of group stages, group stage day number 8. But Group C, just like what we discussed earlier, Smart Omega, Aguila Esports, Huntsman, as well as Team Fury, they'll be fighting it out. Let's see exactly who will be the ones who move on and complete the 6th and 7th slot. And the prize pool that they are playing for, a 25,000 US dollar whopper here, Jericho.
Yeah, 25,000. Let's break it down. First place gets 10,000. Second place gets 4,500. Third gets 3,000. Fourth place gets 1,500. Fifth to 8, you get 750. 9 to 12, 500. And if you place 30 to 16, you will get 250 USD. So a lot of money here. Once you reach that top 8, AJ, you're fighting for that first place.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a few questions as to who and how do we determine who gets the 13 to 16 place, who gets the 9 to 12 place. So all of the teams that end up in the 4th position within the group stages itself, they will be the ones who pick up the 13 to 16th. All of those that pick up the 3rd spot, they will be able to get the prize pool from the 9th to 12th place, so on and so forth, until, of course, we are left with the top 4. But, of course, in terms of this competition, it's not just about the money, it's about the pride as well. Let's take a look at the qualified teams within Group C that want to fight it out here today. Smart Omega, Aguila Esports, Huntsman, as well as Team Fury. Smart Omega, they used to be the kings of all. They step on into this competition. We've seen some weak moments, but overall, they still remain dominant within this group, Jericho.
Yeah, they still remain dominant. Omega, starting off in a very, very great way. Undefeated at the moment, 3-0. But, Aguila Esports, the surprise of this group, the underdogs for me, really just stepping up 2-1 at the moment. And for Huntsman, the most disappointing team at the moment for me, just not really finding it. After that first game against Omega, we thought great things were coming, but they lost to Aguila. And Fury, I really want to see something from them. Let's hopefully they win 3 straight today.
Yeah, it's most definitely asking a lot for Team Fury to win 3 straight games after they got 3-0 by all 3 teams within their group itself, right? So today is going to be a huge day. If Team Fury can muster up anything at all, we want to see exactly how much they have improved. But Group D, this is going to be the one for day number 8 of the group stages. You will have your Eastern champions, Blacklist International, Ultimate C8 Legacy, the prodigies of the competition, Nervo, as well as the Doctor in performance. But once again, this is for day number 8. They will not be in performance today.
Yeah, they won't be in performance. They're going to be waiting. We're going to have another break, guys. But Group D, they're going to be preparing for that one. And the story there is, can Nervo or the Doctor dethrone Say Legacy?
Yeah, so that, it's I think a lot to ask based on how Legacy has been handling all of their series in here so far, right? The only ones to be able to nick a win off of them has been Blacklist International Ultimate so far. And I don't think that was a very easy game for the side of Blacklist as well, right? That was most definitely a tough fight that went down all the way to the wire. Yes, C8 Legacy did manage to get the breadstick, but they were almost close to pushing it into a game number 5. I feel like they will have the answers for us when they do meet in the second half of this double round robin. So let's take a quick look here at the highlights of Group A and B. You see 2 teams from Group A and 2 teams from Group B already making it through to the playoffs. That's Almighty C8 United, M420 Low Kings, as well as M9. As for Rampage Tyrant Finesse, Triple V Esports, as well as Gaijin, unfortunately, they have exited the competition. They will not be moving through to the playoffs, Jericho.
Yeah, that's for Group A and Group B. As for Group C, as I said, Smart Omega 3-0 on the top of that group. Aguila 2-1, Huntsman 1-2, and Fury 0-3. And for Group D, Black International Ultimate 3-0, State Legacy 2-1, Nervo 1-2, and the Doctor Donut and a 3. So interesting records for Group C and D.
Yes, sir. Let's take a look at the schedule of the day. This is the kind of action you can expect as we open up the day with Smart Omega taking on Aguila Esports. This is going to be potentially the closest game, unless, of course, Huntsman can step it up as well. Series number 2 will be Smart Omega sitting on waiting for the second series, whilst the Huntsman steps up to the plate to see exactly what they can pull off this time round. Series 3, Aguila Esports going up against the Huntsman, and of course, to close off the day of broadcast, Team Fury will have an opportunity to prove themselves against Smart Omega.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting. And for our off-stream matches, we have Huntsman versus Fury for our first one. And then for our off-stream match number 2, Aguila Esports versus Fury. So, I mean, expect a lot of these Omega fans screaming for them. But will it be enough to take down, also great teams such as Aguila and Huntsman?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And Team Fury, they most definitely have, the odds stacked against them, especially after we've witnessed the first half of this double round robin, where they couldn't even pull a single match victory through any of the series that they have gone in for so far. So it's most definitely going to be a challenging day for them. But in terms of all of our predictions for the day, as you can see, the bet on Smart Omega is going strong on the Mustachio side.
Hey, nothing to the fans of Smart Omega. I just want to make things interesting here. I want to see the underdogs go fight here because I know Omega, they've been through so many. But, in my heart, yes, I know Omega, they are probably going to win these all the matches that they have. But, for the sake of cancer predictions, I want to switch it up.
Oh, yeah, fair enough, man. And, Aguila Esports, they most definitely have a lot of promise within the competition. They've taken the win over Huntsman and Team Fury already. Most definitely the favorites to make it through to the playoffs together with Smart Omega. But, like we said, anything can happen within the competition, especially in a double round robin format where now your opponents kind of sort of know exactly how to take this fight up against you. But knowing how to take the fight versus actually going out there and executing it, 2 very, very, very different things, Jericho.
Yeah, two different things. I agree with you. You have a lot of film there, but the execution, that's such a big thing there because you could study everything you want, but if you can't execute it right, it's not going to be worth it. But now, before we do go, guys, don't forget our bingo. And the rules are simple here. You just have to complete the activities in any vertical, horizontal, or diagonal, and you just have to post it with the cross-off activities in your public FB to be eligible to win 100 CP.
Oh, yes, absolutely, sir. Don't forget your IGN, your open ID, as well as user ID. And you need the hashtags as well. In order to find out exactly what these hashtags are, do not forget you can jump on over to the Garena Call of Duty mobile Facebook page for the Philippines as well as MYSG to find out more. Make sure you've gotten this all completed before the 25th of February because then it's all over. 100 people overall, 50 from the Philippines, 50 from MYSG will be able to win 100 CP each. That's a lot of CP.
That's a lot of CP and D. I mean, like what you said, you could just get a crate. You probably get whatever gun you want if Lady Luck's beside you. So might as well just join, guys. It's a fun activity for all the community. Don't forget to do the bingo.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, this is the lineup for Smart Omega, the Titans of Group C for the time being. Crush, Idra, Jay-Z, Candy, Cavs, as well as Whoopi. These names need no introduction whatsoever, Jericho. Let's take a look at the player cam as well. All smiles on their faces. They are ready to kick it in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, these boys are ready. 3-0. They've done a lot to try to keep going undefeated, but their first series going up against a very, very good team might be a repeat of what happened. They 3-0'd Aguila, but Aguila kept it close.
Yeah, Yeah, and and that's exactly what we like to see in the competition, right? In order for them to continue their run in here, they need to continuously prove to the community that they can take a fair fight, a good fight up against Smart Omega as well. Captain, Jobs, Mickey, Shadow, Yuki, as well as Zunex stepping on up to the plate for the side of Aguila Esports. Will they be able to pull off more than just a single match victory this time round? Or will they get trumped out? That is the biggest question for this series, Jericho.
Yeah, biggest question indeed. And so far, they've been performing really, really well, AJ. I mean, I'm just impressed on the way they work as a team, especially Captain and all of their games. I've just seen him, do a lot of plays. And also Mickey, I'll give him a shout out because this guy has a positive KD of a 1.38, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, at this stage, you do need people like that. And that's why Mickey is stepping out. I hope these boys have something to show today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And let's take a look at their bans and picks in here to see head to head and see exactly how the numbers fare between the two. 18.9 versus 14.88. It's not too far away, but it's still most definitely a difference that will bring a lot of impact out there on the battlefield. And obviously, you can expect Kevs to deliver, but it's not like Mickey cannot at the same time, Jericho.
Yeah, they're both very good, great players, but the thing is, they play different roles, AJ. Kev's more of that player that goes in, and first one in always. And that just puts a lot of pressure on, not even a Mickey, but the players like Captain and Zunex, because they're going to be the first line of defense. For Mickey, he's that anchor player, go up against Idra. I definitely need to go up. Your numbers have to go up here because if you're that anchor, you're always going to be in those power positions wherein you are required to get a certain number of kills.
Absolutely, man. It is going to be the bans and picks in a couple of seconds. Let's see exactly where Lady Luck looks and smiles, and it will be Aguila once again who gets to call the shots. But the last time they did win the coin toss as well. They picked all of the maps. They still got trumped out 3-0 in spectacular fashion by the side of Omega Esports. Crossfire was the map that they banned out the last time, but after getting beaten at 3 different maps, especially Raid S&D, anywhere it goes, but Crossfire, they want to just stick to that map. It looks like they just do not want to play that, Jericho.
I feel like they just don't want to play it. They don't want Whoopi to pop off with that sniper. So very, very good ban. But let's see what Omega bans over here. It probably should be a... Ooh, okay.
Stand off again.
It's the same, but I thought I was expecting a Hackney Yard here, but I feel like after that first series that they did, they're probably going to do the same set of maps here. But let's take a look. Aguila, first pick of the day. It's going to be Hardpoint. What do they pick? I think they might just go for a Hackney Yard firing range. I want to keep it short range. I like what they're doing, but at the same time, it's giving Kevs that freedom to just roam around and just do a lot with that TBR.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I'm actually quite surprised with this pick. It could be a summit response from the side of Smart Omega. We could also drop into Hackney Yard. One of these two maps will most definitely obliterate this side of Aguila Esports. Let's see exactly how the response comes through. It's going to be map number 4, and it will be a one-sided challenge, and Smart Omega will be bringing it to the plate. Aguila Esports chooses to start from the Guerrilla squad, which is going to give them quite a bit of momentum from the get-go, but let's see exactly how they play that out to the T. And of course, the next pick will be from Smart Omega for the S&D, and I'm pretty sure he was going to say Raid, but no, sirree, no. We go into takeoff.
That's a curveball right there because I thought Raid S&D would be the way, but Aguila, I think they might just be losing this number 2 because Omega, they probably did a lot of research on this takeoff S&D, and I like it from them. They want to keep it I would say weird, I guess. I mean, I'm not a fan of this pick, but...
Jericho, because clearly they've been picking Raid S&D back to back to back, and everybody would have gone in there and tried to study them as much as possible, thinking that, okay, the next time we meet these boys on Raid, we're going to be able to get the victory. Bam! In your face, takeoff. I think this was a solid curveball from the side of Smart Omega, but we don't know, right? We don't know exactly how Aguila Esports is going to be performing here, so let's see how things will break down later on. S&D response from the side of Aguila Esports, if at all we do go into a match number 5, is going to be at Raid, and of course Hackney Yard domination. I don't. If I'm Aguila Esports, I definitely don't, because you see, technically you could have just brought this into a domination at Raid. Domination at Hackney Yard, man. It's a map that Smart Omega most definitely have got all of their fingers wrapped around it tightly, end to end. It's going to be a tough one for sure, but let's see exactly what Aguila Esports can pull off. In terms of the operator skills, Sparrow taken off of the list, Purifier wiped out by Smart Omega, a lot of Annihilators on for the pop later on, I'm pretty sure.
Annihilators, but I just really want to see an Equalizer come out here, AJ. It's been so long. We've been saying it for so long. Equalizer can just really equalize the game. I mean, from the word itself, that P4 and that P3 going to be very, very helpful. But let's see. But having the Annihilator in the hands of Omega, that's a different story, AJ. That's just those guys are just mechanically sound. But for the Aguila boys, I think it's time to bring out that depth machine. Let Mickey do that work. Like I said, with being in an anchor position, you just hold it down there. But so far, it's a 50-50 pick for both teams, but hopefully both teams, they come out on top here.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous for the side of Aguila Esports. I want them to be able to push this all the way into a match number 5 to show us exactly what they've gotten out. But then, the curveballs out of the players of Smart Omega, most definitely detected. They didn't really see that coming through. Let's see what they will be able to do in here to prove themselves. Firing range, Hardpoint. That's going to be game number 1. As we kick things off, it's going to be Smart Omega on the Gorilla side as they go in here with the push. It's going to be a very immediate attack, a 3-2 split with 2 players playing the objective, and 3 of them taking over the mid segment of the map. Kendi trying to take away the player from the second floor of Barracks Huts. Jay-Z with a good kill. Smart Omega all over the place at the moment, but Aguila Esports, they did manage to get a couple of victories in terms of gunfight, but nothing enough to go in there and make a play for the Hardpoint just yet.
And no play so far, but they do get control of that trail in that steel house. They want to get control of that P2 immediately, but here comes the flank from number 5. That's going to be Captain, holding it down for them. They managed to break the hill as well, but they did not go for that P2 agent. They want to get into the hill, apply a lot of pressure because the points are piling up for the side of Omega and Mickey. With that, him being on top of that tower, it's going to spell trouble for Omega because they're not going to be able to get on the hill without him being taken out.
Yeah, Mickey now sitting down inside of the scout tower. Aguila doing a lot now for this first Hardpoint. And as long as Mickey's going to be in there, Smart Omega has got no hope. And you see the early rotations coming through. Oh my goodness me, they still break the hill. But in the world, Captain Jay-Z doing it all on his own. And finally he gets shut down. But that's all over already. They need to go in here for the rotation. Cars being held on by Idra. And he's got the outside part of this Hardpoint all closed off. And Smart Omega, they're trying to run away with this game at that second point in itself.
Yeah, just making the right place at the moment. 14-40, and look how spread out that offense is. But here comes Aguila. They break 3 players down, but they haven't broken the hill. They do have somewhat of a control here, but Jar's gonna be the first one in. It's gonna be a big gunfight. He's gonna be waiting for his teammates, but the spawns are in favor of Omega. They do have that tire shop as well as that P2. All the players is winning their gunfights. 14-60, Aguila coming in very slow, but Omega just really, really hot from the get-go.
63-14 now, second Hardpoint, all in the hands of Smart Omega. No plays out of Aguila Esports at all, and a super early rotation into the white warehouse. 16 seconds to go. I do not understand this play coming through. They most definitely have got the position to go in for the attack and break that second hill, but they choose to play a little scared. They want to go in here and lock down the white warehouse. Are they going to be able to do that? That's the question. Idra comes in with a final attack. Backstab! Type 25 will be able to get the win, and Idra has that backup as well, and they will be able to open up P3 as well. Smart Omega literally doing everything in this game. Aguila Esports with a good break. Are they going to be able to run away with this? Now sitting down just right behind the sentry as Captain takes it out of the equation. Thumper in hand as well, just as an extra insurance precaution as they step on forth. Kendi bringing in the annihilation. Oh, that is unfair, Kendi. You shouldn't be able to take that hit.
Yeah, he can't hit that 3 in a row, make that 4 in a row for Kendi, working towards that Goliath. They have to shut him down here, but that's the problem. If you give it to the players of Omega, it's going to be very, very effective. Aguila, they managed to break it for a while, but this time it's their turn to bring out their Annihilators. Captain could be the first one in, gets one as well. Can he get the second one? Misses that shot, and this is where we talk about the equalizer. It could just come in here very handy, spray it down, but the damage has been done. Scrap time goes to Omega. They have streaks to work with over that P4. They just need to take their time. They don't even need to rotate early.
Yeah, look at this, man. And now, with all of the players now double backing into the barracks huts, Aguila Esports trying to lock down the next point, just like what they did with P3. But I believe it's going to be pretty much the exact same story, because mechanically, there is just no match right now between these two teams. Smart Omega truly in a class of their own. 128 to 31. This might just be all over already, Jericho. But the blessing in disguise here, you don't really see a lot of Smart Omega players fully streaked out.
Yeah, not much of them, but you know, it doesn't matter. They're always going on these 3 to 4 kill streaks, and now Whoopi, as soon as we say that, he does have the Dragonfire as well as the Sentry Gun. It might just end it here, 10 more points, but Captain tried to break it on its own. They managed to break it, but Jay-Z is there to clean up the kills. Captain, what can you do? He's gonna get taken out. Last 7 points, and Aguila just not having anything today. 2 more points. Jay-Z ends it 150 to 34. Smart Omega make it fast in that game number 1.
Oh, a little too fast, don't you think, Jericho? I mean, 150 34. I don't know, just questionable plays coming out of Aguila Esports. Because yes, they were being dominated when it came to those gunfights, but you have to go in there and fight for the hill no matter what. It's just all about the break. And when you were looking at the minimap earlier on, for that P2, they had more than sufficient number of players out there on the battlefield, with the Omega players spawning behind them at Barracks Hut, which means the break for P2 would have most definitely been possible. But they convinced themselves that it is not possible. They go in for an early rotation at P3, only to be punished by Smart Omega in the 6 seconds where the hardpoint is on lockdown. And before the activation of the hardpoint, Smart Omega already had it on their side. And yes, of course, you know, Aguila Esports, they did manage to come through and break P3 again. But, you know, there was just so much of points, so much of precious points wasted out of P2.
Yeah, just so much points coming through. They just couldn't kill it anymore. You know, they tried pushing it together as a team, but it was just too much. All the Omega players making individual plays, and at the same time, with those individual plays, the teamwork was just on point for them. You know, Idra 17 and 9, Candy 36. I mean, these are numbers you don't really see because it's a fast game, but
yeah,
it's just the way they're moving together as a unit. It just works so well. And for the side of Aguila, you can't have 3 players going 6 kills there for that hard point. It's just, you know, Aguila, they came out flat, they ended flat. Omega, they started hot, they stayed hot, and I feel like in this S&D, they're going to continue to being hot.
And I'm just in utter shock with some of the decision-making coming through from the players of Aguila Esports here. And if they step into takeoff S&D right now, you know, I guess we will be able to see them take a couple of rounds, because it's not a do or die mission where you make that one mistake within that round and then, you know, the whole S&D match is over, right? You make a mistake in that one round, you can make your adjustments in the other. But I just hope we don't see the same mistakes coming out from them again and again and again as they try to bash their heads through. Because running away from the gunfights when you're going up against Smart Omega, it's just not going to work in Call of Duty Mobile. They'll still hunt you down and they'll still slay you.
And yeah, that's true. You know, especially on this S&D takeoff, such a curveball map coming in for the side of Smart Omega. If you're Aguila, what are you gonna do here? I mean, it's just I mean, probably they also have something up here, AJ. But now let's take a look. I mean, it's gonna depend on you. I feel like those opening snipes just to stop that push, delay that. Those pushes, I feel like it's very important here. But let's take a look. Let's starting off with Aguila Esports on the defensive side. It's gonna be a 2-1-2, and look at Smart Omega just slowing things down, waiting for Whoopi to get a pick as well.
Yeah, I love this from Smart Omega. And Aguila Esports, the only way to win this takeoff S&D is knowing each and every single one of those corners. Like Jay-Z, as he caught Captain out. Unfortunate for him, being pressured by 2 players of the Smart Omega side. This wasn't a situation he could handle. Caps now right through the window. Punishes Shadow, who had the advantage. Will be able to get the second one out of a thumper as well. Mickey a little unfortunate. Whoopi finds Joff. Final player on the hunt. Smart Omega, they are on the prowl. And Idra settles this for a perfect round on the side of Smart Omega.
Perfect round indeed. And before we do, I just want to say a quick shout out to the 2-time champ, Coach Image, from formerly from Tribe and also from Blacklist. He's watching now. Thank you for joining us. And now back to the action, AJ. Perfect round, flawless round for Smart Omega. That speaks volumes, AJ. You're just facing a different kind of Omega. This is the Omega we've been waiting for, AJ. Hopefully it just keeps on going. Consistency is key here. And now, look what happened. Aguila, they just adjusted, not even aggressing anymore. They're playing so safe in their base here. But look at number 4. That's going to be Kevs. Already pushed up. He's going to pay for that. And Captain's going to take out Kevs. That's going to stop the push.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And since Image is on this broadcast, Image, if you're hearing this, can you please train me, man? I need a coach. I desperately need a coach. I suck in all of my ranked matches. I need more game sense, brother, and I need your help. Yuki, great snipe onto Whoopi. That's a Punisher from afar, but Idra trades out jobs. The numbers are still equal in here. Mickey, unfortunately, shut down by Idra. Idra tries to look for yet another Time 25 supremacy. Thumper on that response as well. Won't be able to fight him, but the second one does. And Jay-Z settles the fight behind as Smart Omega picks up second round.
I mean, the way they're playing is just on point at the moment, man. 2-0, flawless at the moment. Idra with 5-0 at the moment, just doing a lot of things. And Aguila, they managed to, pick some players off in that second round, but just a little bit of a slower, they need a slower approach. They need to play with more of their teammates here, but at the moment, just now they're aggressive again, AJ. But Smart Omega, they're going to be stacking this A side.
See what they will be able to pull off as can be punished. Shadow, one more, removes the trophy out of the situation. Mickey, on the other hand, with the sprays, not going to be able to punish just yet as Idra finds him. One player taken down. Candy was a little unfortunate as he received all of those sprays. Idra, information right back. Whoopi finds Captain. Yuki repositions. Thumper pressures him away from his position. And it's going to be the side of Aguila Esports. Straight face-to-face on the fight. Kevs manages to bag that with the CBR. I don't know, man. It's all each and every single angle very smartly closed off by Smart Omega. No pun intended.
Yes, 3-0. I mean, things are just not looking good for Aguila. No trades whatsoever. They just feel lost in this map, AJ, and I feel like that's what Smart Omega wanted to do. You take off S&D. That's what's gonna happen if you face us. At the moment, that is what's happening. But Yuki has a beautiful spot. We'll get that information. But first blood goes to Kev.
Wonderful. And will be all come on. Whoa, what a quick scope! Shot by Yuki. Idra down on the ground. Can he continue to bag? A few more of these kills. What a great position held on. Mickey shuts down Kevs right after he takes Shadow out of the equation. Yuki has that information. Can he play it back? Double on the quick scope. Brings out the thumper as well, but he repositions. Candy shuts down Mickey instead. Candy, can he get another one? Yes, he does. He gets the double, although Yuki had that information. And now Aguila Esports, it's all in the hands of Captain. He has the CBR, he has the DPS on him, but does he have the information on the other two players? He knows exactly where Candy is. Whoopi, on the other hand, is gonna be roaming around. Well, Candy finds him. It is a backstab, but Whoopi gets punished. Candy finds the perfect third kill in this round.
Perfection. 4-0 at the moment, AJ. And this is the Omega we talk about. Just different kind of people, just knowing what to check. Everyone is just pretty much doing everything that they practice. And if you are Aguila, Jarps and Shadow, they got to step it up, both at 0 kills at the moment. Smart Omega, they're going to apply a lot of pressure, always switching out the place every single round, and I'm loving it from them. But Captain here, he just misses that timing, AJ. He just got one player, and Kevs, he took over that one. That's going to be the first blood. He's been spotted there for the past 3 rounds. They have to try something else here. Now another slow push from Omega.
It just looks like Aguila Esports, they were preparing all week long for this raid S&D, and wham, in your face. Let's go take off, boys, says Smart Omega. That's just so unfortunate as Kevs finds Yuki flying down like the angel of death, but no death was delivered. Shadow punishes Kev with the information. It's a 3v2. Whoopi and Candy, can they get the clutch to push this into match point? And the timing is just not on Mickey's side as Candy finds him. Whoopi with the distraction. 2v2 now, Jericho.
Yeah, 2v2 indeed. It's a winnable situation for the side of Aguila, but bomb is still in the hands of Omega. Candy and Whoopi can rotate over, but I think B is just the right way right now.
Yeah.
But they might just take the fight here. Big gunfight right here, Whoopi. Can he spot Shadow? Oh, is this just time? Oh, that timing. Whoopi takes down Jarps, and that timing, Shadow. He gets picked up, but he takes down Whoopi. 1v1, and he takes him down. Huge skill by Shadow. Beautiful mid-micro adjustment there, AJ. 1-4, finally giving that first round to Aguila.
Yeah, I love the decision making coming through, and at that very moment he spotted that player, the response time was immaculate on the side of Shadow, and he just needs to keep that up, man. I know that's asking for a little too much, as Smart Omega is just way too sharp on this map. Yuki looks for that angle on top of the launch center, second floor. Candy finds Captain, will be able to find yet another. JC already with a pre-aim, but Indra doesn't even allow him to take one bullet out of his mag. Indra finds yet another. Shadow down onto the ground. 5v2 now, and this is just getting painful to watch. It's a 4v2. Mickey trades one out, but Jay-Z closes things off to put Smart Omega at match point.
Damn. 1-5 match point. Just a bad day for Aguila Esports, AJ. Just a really, really bad day. I can see it from the start. And Smart Omega, they want to get through this already. They want to qualify. Now one round away. Yuki trying to spot Whoopi. Who's going to be the better sniper? Ooh. And how? Whoopi, crispy shot. Mickey trying to find the players in spots. One, the thumper comes through. He does get one. Second player, the second thumper, unfortunately, does not shoot it. And that's going to be at 6-1. Aguila Esports down 0-2.
How quick was that match? How quick was this SND? This was insane in terms of performance out of the boys of Smart Omega. Must be all of that monster energy pumping through their veins, man. They were on fire start to end. I mean, Hardpoint was fast-paced, but when you compare that to SND was just a blitz through game number 2.
Yeah, it was just a blitz. I mean, hey, that's the Omega we know. Game face on. They want to prove something here. And unfortunately, it's going to be at the expense of Aguila. Idra with 10, Kenny with 6, Kez with 8, Whoopi with 6, Jay-Z with 4. No one went negative there for the side of Aguila. It was only Mickey with 4. It was just really, really hard to see that. They kept on trying to rush, but they kept on getting picked off one by one. And now moving on to the domination. The momentum just trying to with Omega. They want to end it here. I don't think they want to go to a game number 4 anymore.
Oh, Omega's merciless right now, man. I mean, I've never seen them more hungry. I've never seen them more dangerous out there on the battlefield. And today, they are ready for the playoffs. They are ready for a bigger challenge than Aguila Esports. Aguila Esports right now, the only ones who have really been able to take it up against them, not through the number of points in the competition, but just by winning some of the series above and beyond Huntsman as well as Team Fury. In terms of the performance going up against Smart Omega in itself, that's a whole different ball game altogether. Smart Omega, I feel like they are just unmatched in Group C.
Yeah, I mean, they are that team to beat indeed. Omega's just, we thought they were some mishaps, but the only mishap I saw was that game number 1 against Huntsman, and then from that, they just ran away with it. 30-41, 51-6. And now Hackney Yard domination. I feel like this is where Aguila, I think this is their curveball here. I know they lost in that Hardpoint, but domination Hack Yard's a little bit easier than Hardpoint. So maybe, just maybe, AJ, we might find something here, and we just might see the beginning of a reverse sweep. But looking at the way the Omega is playing, I do not see.
If Smart Omega manages to keep Aguila Esports below that 75-point mark by the time we reach the end, I think all the other teams are going to get obliterated today, man. I don't think Smart Omega is going to give anyone any chances whatsoever. If Aguila Esports stands no chance, I mean, granted, yes, we do remember Huntsman did beat them 150-32, but we don't know what sort of what sort of a situation that was in standoff, right? And from then on, it was just a standoff standard ban coming through from Smart Omega.
I mean, I feel so sad. I just feel bad for the side of Aguila. Just, we saw them uprising. They were winning a lot against Huntsman and Fury. The Omega, they kept it close, but this one is just, like one-sided.
Look at the bright side. The bright side is, apart from Smart Omega, the ones that look most likely to make it through the playoffs right now is Aguila Esports. They just have to be true champions here, where they face defeat, they don't give up, right? I mean, what's your worst case scenario? You take a 3-0 against Smart Omega, you go and meet Huntsman as well as Team Fury, you give them those 3-0s. Done deal, you move on to the playoffs, nothing to be sad of. They still have got the fight left in them. But, against Smart Omega, it's just a team that has been hungry for a long time now. they couldn't really go to the Eastern Finals. It was a little unfortunate for them, the way they got beaten. But, you know, they just want to prove something, man. And in terms of proving something in the Call of Duty mobile scene, it's very simple. You step on out there and you win matches in an impressive manner. And I think so far, they've been nothing but impressive.
Yeah, they definitely want a rematch against Black International Ultimate. I think that's their one goal. So we're expecting that, but here we go. Domination in Hackney Yard. Aguila starting on that bad side, and Omega, they have that good side, A and B, the one we always love to see, AJ. One of their players not moving at the moment, that is just, you really hate to see that. Nature is called M, but now, here we go. Smart Omega have capped that B, but they're still trying to get some kills here, and I like it, you know, not capping on it immediately, getting those early kills. So far, Omega just winning all their gunfights. Captain trying to make a play on his own, gets 2 in a row. Huge kill for him. Omega, they captured it already. 5-5. He eats a thumper. The noob tube coming into play now. And Omega controlling B so far.
Oh, that's just smart plays coming out of Captain, but just unfortunate as Kendi just met him with the IQ plays, right? Smart as he spots nobody on the flag, turns around with the thumper, because where else could the guy be? He was just capping that flag. And it's just that sort of game sense that puts Smart Omega in front. Not just the mechanical capabilities, not just the rotations on point. A flag now pulled away by the players of Aguila Esports, and this is really smart. As long as they can cap this spawn, they should be able to pressure Smart Omega at least a little bit now before we head into the halfway point. And now with the 2 flag hole, it looks like Aguila Esports might be able to get this done. The final player, he gets shut down, and no spawn break for Aguila just yet.
And no spawn break indeed. And so far, here we go, 24-25. Omega just controlling everything that they have. And this is just really, really crazy. 28-26. I mean, it's still a close game, but Aguila, they need to find something. Finally, clears out the players in B. They have to hop on it immediately. Mickey trying to cap it a no, but this is going to be playing scaffolding. They finally get it. That's very good, but can they hold it for long? So far, 2 more players of Omega hopping on it. The gravity board comes in. They're going to take down 2, but I think that's a miscomp. 2 of them used it already, AJ.
It's just a little unfortunate with both of them pulling it out at the very same time, right? One would have been more than enough in that situation, but the flag still in the hands of Aguila Esports. Mickey holding on to a great position here. Finally gets taken out of the situation by Kendi. B flag in a lot of trouble. Whoopee! KRM does not get it. Only gets a hit marker out of that, and Captain secures that kill. And the hill, the flag still on the side of Aguila Esports. What a play! What a response at this takeoff domination from the Aguila side, Jericho.
Yeah, that's very, very good. You know, I just like it. You know, they started off the bad side, AJ, but they're making the most out of it. I like it, but they invested a lot of those operators, AJ. It might just cost them in this. Once Omega caps this, they're gonna have a hard time recapturing this flag. But so far, they still have that lead 56-47, and this is what we're talking about. This is Aguila's curveball, and now Shadow heating up with a 7 kill streak. Make that. Nope, never mind. JC shuts him down. We'll get 2 streaks though, but here comes Candy opening things up, and just like that, they are going to be able to capture B, but Zunix takes down 2, but Omega, they capture B, and now 65-51. Smart Omega back on that, back on capturing B.
Yeah, and this is a good sign. This is a sign that Aguila Esports is still alive and kicking in this matchup, and they're not going to allow the side of Smart Omega to run away with this game all that too easy. But what I want to see Aguila Esports do in this situation, once you've lost the B flag already, immediately switch up your plays, try to take a flag from office, try to get that A flag away, because that is exactly how they were able to get in front in the first place, Jericho. Those plays just not coming through from their side this time round, and Smart Omega now trying to catch up with those points, but thankfully Aguila Esports will stop the bleeding by reaching the halfway point. 75-71, a little too close for comfort still as Aguila Esports maintains their lead.
And yeah, and it to the point, I mean, they started off in the bad side, AJ, CNB and Omega. I thought they were gonna end it really fast, but this is very, very interesting. Your Captain using it very early. He's gonna get 1. Can he get more out of this Annihilator? But so far, Idra was gonna get that second blood, and just like that, that's what we've been talking about, AJ. That Annihilator up close range, not the best unless you are Whoopi, and you're just gonna destroy all these players. Misses that 3rd shot, but there's gonna be 2 streaks coming in. Shadow takes down 2 players as well. And actually, Smart Omega, they want to go for that flip, and that's what happens. The RNG God skipping it to number 5. That's going to be Idra all the way to back A. And it's all up to Mickey trying to defend on his own. He does get 1, but can he keep on defending on his own? He does get the second one as well, but Idra already hopping on that A flag.
And it looks like the spawns have been taken by Smart Omega, and this is the way you play Takeoff. And although I like the fight that Aguila Esports put up from that weaker side, it just wasn't good enough, right? Because when they were fighting those backstabs, when they were fighting those flanks, that's exactly where they managed to find a few points for themselves as well. But the moment they started to focus on that B flag, hyper-focusing on it as a matter of fact, Smart Omega were able to catch right back up with them. Hopefully Aguila Esports sees their weakness in decision making here and makes those adjustments before it's too late, because here comes Smart Omega. They're about to catch up, and they just did.
Yeah, they're about to catch up in indeed 95 to 95, but here we go, Smart Omega with that 2 cap as well. They have A and B now. Jarps at the back of A. He has a big gunfight in front of Idra. It's gonna be a 1v1 here. Who's gonna win this gunfight? Right here, unfortunately, decides to switch to that nade out at the best moment, and now they have full control of that map. A and B controlled. And here comes Aguila Esports just overextending, Adrian.
Yeah, but it's not enough, Jericho. Where's the backup? Why is he going in there for a solo man trial? He's not Rambo, for heaven's sake, and you're going up against Smart Omega. You need to have a little bit of extra backup in a situation like that, but it's just a little all over the place on the side of Aguila Esports. He needs to be a more frontal attack, and now the frontal attack coming in here straight up for that B flag after the distraction has been played for that flag, and this might just be a chance for Aguila Esports, but Whoopi says hello. Zunex taken down, and he continues to go in here for the hunt. Well, he has to find Mickey, but before he gets there, Indra shuts that play down. No B flag capture for Aguila Esports just yet.
No B flag indeed. 124 to 110. We're almost in that end game territory. I think once it reaches 130, could be a GG already. But final push for Aguila here. Whoopi shuts down Jarps,
Nice
and
flank.
now the overextension. It came in really, really late, AJ. If they helped Jarps here, I feel like it could have just turned to the tide of Aguila.
Yeah, man, but Indra is just being such a pain. Nobody's winning these gunfights. Oh, my lord, Indra, stop it, bro. What in the world? He is a monster out there on the battlefield. He can hold those flanks down solo. None of these Aguila boys are getting past Indra at all. And that's going to be a huge pain. Indra, 6 kills so far. Can he look to the left? No, Zunex takes him down. But game over, Jose. Smart Omega most definitely on the road to win this already. Aguila Esports, valiant effort, but way too soft of an approach all the way through, Jericho.
Yeah, I just feel like that body language, once they saw that Omega had control of it again, just things were just not clicking. A little bit of miscommunication because they left Jarps at the back of A already. No support coming in from the side of his other teammates. It was just all him, Jarps, pushing on his own. He had to 1v1 against Idra. Idra took him out, and then from there, they were just running away with it. That's going to be a 3-0. Great performance from Omega, but valiant effort from Aguila.
Yeah, man.
In the domination.
I wanted the flanks. And yes, Aguila Esports started to deliver the flanks. You were absolutely point on when you said it's a little too late. They should have been trying for that a little earlier. I 100% agree with you. But when they did attempt those flanks, Idra, the king, was just there. One of the best players, arguably the best Call of Duty mobile player out here in Garena. He just did so much out there. He was just getting kill after kill after kill after kill. And not only that, you look at the number of captures on the side of Indra, man. Not only is he slaying, most of the times, he wasn't even playing for any of those flags. And when needed, he goes over, gets the job done, pulls that flag right back, and then moves on back to shutting down flanks. The guy was doing so much, almost everything out there.
He was just doing everything, And you're right, Candy with 25, Idra with 22, and talk about Idra, AJ. We saw him.
Number of deaths, bro.
Yeah, 13. He was always at the back, AJ, just picking off all those players that were running into him, and that's what an anchor player should do, even in the side of domination. He wasn't even in the flags. He was there for the first couple of lives, but once he knew, once his teammates were taking control of that, he was just at the back, living his life there, camping and just getting kills after kills. And
it's an insane number of KD for Idra himself to pick up in this one match, right? Because in Hackney Yard, the one thing that you know for sure is you go in there, you get a couple of kills, you're potentially going to get traded out. It's just that sort of a map. Many of those peak angles, you don't know exactly when that flank is going to be coming through. But Idra himself sat down and he said, nope, today is not the day that Aguila Esports shows off against us. They took such a clean 3-0 against them. And this was, the side of Kendi just running amok with his Annihilator. The kill that he slayed at the very corner of White Warehouse helped them break that hill as well. And the very smart thing about Kendi is he didn't step into the White Warehouse. He knew he needed to break the hill, but he also knew that the Annihilator would be more powerful outside in those long-range engagements instead of a tight spot, which we've seen so many of these players make a mistake with, Jericho.
Yeah, those are just things that you can't teach, AJ. That's just individual greatness with great communication, AJ, because they knew that he had his Annihilator and my nose. But yeah, going back to it. My God, man.
I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. It's the season, Jericho. It's just the season. It's not the season to be jolly. It's the season to be sneezy. It's just a little unfortunate.
But yeah, going back to the Annihilator play. I know it's such a small play there, AJ, but it turned out to be huge because it gave Kendi those streaks, and then moving forward, this domination. It was just complete domination from a Smart Omega, but great first half from Aguila. Aguila, they had that the great side, and but once the switch of sides happened, you saw the early overextension coming in from Omega. Once that happened, they had their setup coming through.
Yeah,
it was just a GG from there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, the curveball play at takeoff was just absolutely stellar, and mastery of Hackney Yard by the side of Smart Omega, most definitely great. But what was the greatest in all of those situations was the fact that Idra was a monster out there. Kendi was just being Kendi. He was playing the position where a lot of those players were taking those straightforward fights inside of Warehouse. But for Kendi to maintain that number of kills just by playing flank, the guy is just blowing my mind with exactly how good he is at the game. But of course, this will continue, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the time being. This has just been one series from the side of Smart Omega. We're going to take a quick short break. When we come back, the chaos that Smart Omega brings into the competition continues.
Roger that. Enemy is near. Close in.
Let's see her again.
One away from a cluster strike. Yes, he gets it. And look at this. Just spamming it. And that's going to be a triple with the Pred. Takes him out.
Luffy just tries to outplay Cisco and won't be able to back up. So for my lord, Luffy! Everything out here.
Yeah, the rest of this team members just doing a lot. You know, if you have your teammates popping off and like just like that, if you're hitting those shots, nasty shot, make it 3 in a row.
Now being outshined. Yes, they did quite a good job getting up to that 100-point mark. But in the second half, it's just been one name being read out again and again and again, and that is Rampage. They are going to be able to equalize in a couple of able to make a better comeback here, but they have to focus on breaking the spawn first.
Yeah, they're breaking that spawn first indeed now, but you know, 7 here has that SKS. We usually see an SVD here, but 5 kill streak for him. It's been working out. Make that 6. Can he make it 7? One away from a cluster strike. Yes, he gets it. And look at this. Just spamming it, and that's going to be a triple with the Pred. Takes him out. And the Doctor, they are struggling. He wants to go for it. Annihilator still alive. 7 is just on a tear here.
But spawn trapping all of these players and now finally making his way for that A flag, and he's just playing pure distraction all on him. My goodness, Piano. Just use your score streaks already, boy. He doesn't even need to bring any of them out because this is just such a dominating run. And Yato's just trying to get melee over all of these players. Won't be able to find yet another punch behind the back of the head. And
Holy crap.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Simon Ghost Riley, looking fancy.
This looks like an ending, but it isn't. This is just the beginning.
Roger that. Enemy is near. Close in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Garena Masters. I am VV Jericho here, down with the great Mustacio AJ. We just had a 3-0, our first doing it for today. Smart Omega handing it over to Aguila Esports.
Yep.
Very, very convincing fashion, especially those first two games.
Yep.
Game 3, a little bit closer, but in the end, they closed it out, and we're going to see them again for series number 2, Omega versus Huntsman. The rematch, is it going to be? It's going to be the same for that game number 1, AJ, or will it be another 3-0?
Yeah, it's just crazy, man, because the record speed as to them getting that win, the 3-0 over Aguila Esports, it was just phenomenal, right? One of the fastest series we've witnessed within the group stages in itself. Let's see if or not this kind of a trend will continue, because the team that they are taking on next is not going to be as easy. One will hope. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before we do move on, though, we have great news for you guys. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the shares and bringing all of our friends in here to enjoy this broadcast. You guys get to have the Money Stash avatar for yourselves. Take a quick screenshot because you get to redeem this for the Viewers Milestone Award.
Hey, at least you guys get something from watching, and it's not a camo, but hey, it's a start, guys. It's a start. You get that Money Stash. I mean, it'd be better if it's real money, but hey, you can show it off in the game. I got that Money Stash.
What he said. Let's take a look at the schedule for the day as we broke down. Aguila Esports, unfortunately, ate not just a thumper or two, but also a 3-0 donut from the side of Smart Omega. And now Smart Omega will meet the Huntsmen, one of the teams, in fact, the only team in the competition so far within Group C to actually take a match against Smart Omega, which was astounding. That was the standoff Hardpoint. 150-32, Smart Omega lost to Huntsman, Jericho.
Yeah, that was a shocker of a game, AJ. Very shocking game. But hopefully it does changes things up. But we also, for match number 3, Aguila versus Huntsman. Match 4, Omega versus Fury. And to update you guys, the off-stream match number 1, it's going to be 3-0 Huntsman versus Fury. That's already done. And for the off-stream match number 2, Aguila, they're going to go up against Fury. And if we take a look at the updated scores, AJ, Aguila and Huntsman, they're both tied at 2-2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And later on, it might just come down to a head-to-head, but that all depends, right? That is all in the hands of Fury. That is also in the hands of Huntsman right now. Can they take down one of the best teams in the competition? Crush, Idra, Jay-Z, Candy, Kevs, as well as Whoopi. Earlier on, Crush did not grace us with his presence, and the team did extremely well with him on tag. Are we going to see them crushing it out there? Because I don't think I see him in the lineup today, do we?
I think he's just benched at the moment. But hey, I think maybe it was him who asked for that bench.
Yeah,
we don't know, but things are working out for them. They have the same player as Crush, like Kebs, just both aggressive, just doing his job. And I feel like this team, they are working out. But maybe sometime we might just see Crush come out here and put on that MVP of performance that we are accustomed to him.
Yeah, for me personally, throughout the whole Smart Omega squad, I feel like, Crush is my highlight player, right? When he's not out there on the battlefield, I feel like they don't just hit in the same way. But Alfari, Derp, Eds, Glowy, as well as Raven, will they be able to hit in a way that we are familiar with, especially with how they trumped up the players of Smart Omega at that standoff? 150-32. If they can do it again and at the same time win the series, they keep themselves alive in the competition, Jericho.
And they need to keep themselves alive. After that win against Fury, 2-2. And if they take this one, I just feel like they can. That last match against Aguila is going to be very, very important.
Yeah.
And everything's on the line here. And hopefully these boys, veteran leadership, that's what we call it. They lost Ranger. They bring up Glowy, a young kid. But with all those experience, can it match up against Omega? Because before, they were on par with Omega, but now I feel like Omega's just ran away with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Let's take a look at the KDs, which are not that far apart, and that is going to be amazing, and you are going to be thankful for it if you're on the Huntsman side, because the very least that you need to be able to do first off, Jericho, is to match up against Smart Omega mechanically.
Yeah, they really, I think that's the That's the one thing that's been being the huge problem for them, because it's only been Raven with a positive KD with a 1.52, Kebs with a 1.54. But then again, story again, different kind of players, AJ. Raven, more of that anchor position for the side of Huntsman. And for Kebs, the player that comes in every single hill, always up in your face. Both players expected to make these same kind of numbers, but I need to see more from the sides of Eds as well as Derp. Those two players underperforming. They need to step it up, because if Kebs sets the tone right, it's just gonna go through the whole team.
Oh yeah, and that's what's insane about this whole situation, because Huntsman now, their survival in the competition, we will see whether or not they move through or they don't, right? Because right after facing off against Omega Esports, they take on Aguila Esports to decide their fate. And with Huntsman winning the coin toss, they will be able to dictate the pace. Let's see if Smart Omega bans of standoff, because if that does not happen, then it's a hardpoint standoff we go.
Yeah, Hardpoint standoff we go. Summit's going to be banned for Huntsman. A lot of these teams in this tournament, AJ, everyone's been struggling at Summit. A great example, Sem9, they've been struggling. Also, VVV Esports. And now Huntsman, they're going to go ban standoff. They don't want to, Summit, they don't want to take it anymore. And Omega, are they going to ban standoff? Yes, they are. So both maps being banned. So Hackney Yard and Takeoff already in the mix. Huntsman, they're going to pick map number 1. Let's see what they pick. Raid Hardpoint. I like this pick coming in from them. Haven't seen any Raid Hardpoints in a while. And Omega, they like Raid, but not for Hardpoint.
Yeah, I absolutely love this, right? Because it's a two-pronged attack. Number one, you get a hardpoint map that you are comfortable on. Number two, you pull away one of the best S&D maps on the side of Smart Omega. But now, the players need to be careful, because we might just go into another takeoff match like what we witnessed earlier on. Hardpoint for the response on the side of Smart Omega. Are we going to go into a map as crazy as Crossfire? The answer is no. Hackney Yard, pretty much what we saw against Aguila Esports earlier on. And search and destroy. If they bring us into takeoff, we pretty much know exactly what to expect, Jericho.
We know what to expect. Indeed, Omega's S&D on takeoff, very, very strong. But Hackney Yard, that's going to be map number 4. Let's see what happens. Crossfire. Oh, okay. All right. I just remembered. Yeah, they didn't ban Crossfire, so Omega's best map is Crossfire. But at the same time, Huntsman with Derp on that sniper, it's going to be a sniper battle between Derp and Whoopi. So expect a lot of people just waiting for those snipers to make a play.
Yeah, and this time, it might just be where you hear it once again. Let's see if or not Whoopi can overcome Derp, or if Whoopi is even going to be played on those snipers, right? Firing range S&D will be map number 5 if we do go there, and takeoff domination, that's going to be map number 3. So Raid, Crossfire, and takeoff if this ends in a 3-0. Hackney out and firing range later on if we do find the players of Huntsman putting up a stronger challenge than Smart Omega expects. In terms of the operators that are on ban, I do not think either one will be cheeky, so Sparrow and Purifier out of the mix.
All right, well, I'm liking it. Domination and takeoff. I think this is that curveball that Huntsmen want to take. They don't want to take it into firing range. And firing S&D, both teams, they all like it. I like the maps here, except for that map number 1. I'm going to give the edge towards Huntsmen here, because we haven't seen that in such a long time. Yeah. And that P3 and P4 AJ, that P3, that garage hill, very, very important.
Yes,
it's important as P4, because both those hills are just very important, because there's only 2 ways in. If you hold it down perfectly, you're pretty much secured to 60 points.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you really need to know how to stack P3, because you've got a lot of those angles that you can play, and you need to use the vehicles inside of this garage to your advantage, especially the blue van on the left-hand side of Raven right now. But, there's been a reset of this matchup, so let's not worry too much about that. But going back to what I was saying, you really want to be focusing on that blue van inside of garage, because if you can stack 3-man there, then you only need to focus on 2 of those areas. But that being said now, Jericho, there's something called the thumper in the game.
Yeah, the thumper, the noob tube, as I would say, hashtag noob tube. I mean, that thing alone, when you're stacking that P3 and you don't blow up those cars, it's a recipe for a quad feed. So
yeah,
I mean, I would do it. If you spawn up on P3, I would just destroy that, so that that's already off the table. But yeah, the thumper just changes the whole thing, AJ, because if you're holding, if they don't see you, they could just thumper that, and they could either get a hit marker or they could kill you. So yeah, it really changes the game.
Yeah, because within that hardpoint itself, you've got some prime hiding spots, and then you've got literally open area, right? There's just a few spots where you just have to go in there and check your corners. It break, but it is not going to be easy, especially when your opponents are mechanically capable of shutting down your place. We saw how painfully strong Idra was on takeoff, and I expect him to be as solid in this next map as well with the Type 25. And it's not going to be easy for any one of these Huntsman players to go in there and challenge them for these hills, but they have to throw their bodies in. They cannot be like Aguila Esports, who avoided those initial confrontations and gave Smart Omega way too much to run away with. As we start things off at the first hardpoint, it's going to be square center on top lane. Both players jumping on in. Will be paying the KRM. Yes, it will be. The Spud gets a hit marker first, finishes it off in the second one, and what a start for Smart Omega.
What a start indeed, but there we go. Alfari breaks through that laundry. It's a big gunfight. He's going to take out this player, but Kendi picks him up. And that still makes the spawn for the side of Smart Omega, but more pressure coming in from Huntsman. They're going to go through, but all players go down. An early lead for Smart Omega. And look at Huntsman. They don't want to go in the hill immediately. I like it, play for that spawn, AJ, but if you have Kendi on a 4 kill streak at the back, that is not going to be very easy to do. But here this might be that last push for Smart Omega and for the side of Huntsman. And now Huntsman, they get control of that P2 for a while.
Yeah, but they seem to be losing each and every single one of their gunfights every single time they step by near to the hard point. And that's just going to be on the side of Smart Omega. Early rotations coming through from the Malaysians, and you most definitely know if there's one thing we do good, we cook it up great in the kitchen. The boys setting it up, and Derp with the backstab, not going to find more than one player. Idra punishes him. Edge will be able to find a little bit of backup dropped into Garden as well. And it will be the Huntsmen who open up this hard point. But for how long can they sustain as they have the spawns from Central Garden? They still can sustain those numbers, but it's the gunfights that are important here, Jericho.
The gunfights are very important here, and look at Omega 54 already, but finally, we do see Huntsman having that control. I like that stack. You see that 4 players are just stacking in inside. They're just going to play trades back and forth, and with that happening, they have all the lanes controlled. And here we go, Omega going to push through the middle. It's going to be a brute force rush. Here comes a thumper as well. They take one down, and here comes the push. Whoopi with a shotgun takes one down. One more player, they managed to break the hill, and now here comes the spawn trap. Whoopi with a KRM doing a lot of damage, takes down 3 in a row. Can he make it for Raven? Last player at the back. The ARM is just on point right now. Whoopi one away from a Dragonfire.
Now, you gotta love Whoopi when he's playing objectives, man. The guy is an absolute slayer. With the KRM, absolutely unstoppable. 76-24 now. Huntsman not really fighting an inch at Kitchen right after the hill got broken. They go in for an early setup of P3, but what do you know? The Smart Omega already there as well. They're everywhere on this map, Jericho.
And they're everywhere in the early rotations. Great gunfights from both sides. I'm about to reach that 100-point mark. Kebs brings out the Annihilator. Perfect time to bring it out. But there's going to be a player. Derp gets taken out as well. And for the side of Huntsman, nothing is going well for them. Kebs going to pre-aim. This one misses that shot. You don't want to see that, AJ. That's very important. But Raven takes him out. Here comes the contest from them. And they break it flawlessly. They need this all this time here. But Glowy trying to make the play as well. Look at that stack from Huntsman. They're not going to be going out. They just want to let them come in. Omega, they can just take their time here. They have a huge lead here. Are they going to force this or just rotate?
Yeah, this is a great play coming through from the side of the Huntsman, right? What a clean break, and now they win all of their gunfights as well, because more than the mechanical capabilities, they know at which angles to look and lock down. But finally, the access coming through from the gym side, and Smart Omega not overextending because of the amount of time left on the timer. And they go in for that early rotation towards hardpoint number 4, and they pull that long flank off just so that they don't have to meet any one of these players of the Huntsman who will be chasing right after them. And through the garden, they drop on to open basketball court, and this is the start of the end perhaps for the side of Huntsman. Can they now break this? They pull in the pincer maneuver, the perfect way if you want to approach the basketball court.
Yeah, I like it. The smoke comes through. Ed's big gunfight there. Unfortunately, he loses amount of ammo, and Whoopi gets one, but Glowy comes through as well. Derp with the Annihilator misses some shots, and that's very unfortunate. I like the ideation there, AJ, but just a little bit of mistakes there. Now Smart Omega, they're gonna get that. The Predator comes in, he's gonna take one down, and here comes Huntsman. Can they break it again? Jay's gonna be the first line of defense, gets taken out. Derp as well pushing through, he's gonna get taken out. And Smart Omega, this is where they're going to invest every single Annihilator that they have. 130 to 61. They need the contest. So Huntsman, they're gonna push through now. Alfari can get the first one in. He's gonna win that gunfight and they break it. But the damage has been done, AJ. Huge lead by Smart Omega.
Yeah, look at Smart Omega. They're not really backing up, sir. As I say that they do take a step away from that hard point. They want to play Central Garden already for lockdown. But look at the Lurkers. The Lurkers were sitting down by Tiki as well. It is going to be the pressure play from JC in a couple of seconds. But thankfully, the backstep comes through from the side of Huntsman. Alfari shuts him down. Central Garden on for the open. It will be Smart Omega there. But what a break as Ed steps on to the hard point. And they will be able to have it for just a couple of seconds. But Whoopi with a lot of pressure. Kevs brings in the cluster, and this is game over, Jericho.
Yeah, game over indeed. Cluster comes through. 5 more points. Huntsman, what can they do? Nothing. It's just going to be sent to a game number 2, 150 to 79. A little bit closer from that first series, AJ, but Smart Omega, they weren't phased by that first map and raid.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's just insane how much they were able to bag within this raid matchup. And we did see a great play come through from Huntsman, especially at that P3. And they were winning a lot of the gunfights there. But on for the rotation towards P4 was where we saw them falter once again because of the mechanical supremacy out of the players of Smart Omega. And therefore, you can peg that as a moment of weakness on the side of Smart Omega at that P3. Because apart from that, it was just clean plays from the squad all throughout, Jericho.
Yeah, clean play indeed. Everything was going well for them. The kills were there. Idra with 17, Kev's 18, Whoopi with 15 as well. And Kenny and Jay-Z, they weren't really having the best of games, but they were getting the important kills toward that end. And for the side of RSG, Glowy with 16, but you can't have Alfari going 7 and 11. He has to really step it up in this S&D.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And Glowy is most definitely a solid player out there on the battlefield. Guy has dropped by and carried me in a few of those ranked matches as well. But, you know, it's not going to be enough. You cannot just have one carry on your side if you want to be taking on a team like Smart Omega. Each and every single player needs to be hitting their best game, their best stats against this, or it's going to be a no-go in the series. And we know how desperately they need a victory here, Jericho.
Yeah, they really, really need that victory. They need to win this series, actually, if they want to stay alive in the standings, AJ. But so far, cross raid, 79 and 150. I mean, if you're Huntsman, you could have done a little bit better there. But, you know, Omega, just really, really strong. I think that's what happens if you play a back-to-back, AJ. That momentum really shifts over you. You stay hot and you keep on playing. And for the side of Huntsman, yes, they 3-0'd Fury, but it's a different beast of Omega. And now Crossfire S&D, with Omega picking this one, it's looking like a 2-0, AJ.
Yeah, it's most definitely looking like that, right? And you know exactly what to expect out of Smart Omega. Just perfect stellar plays. Whoopi's probably going to be bringing in the DLQ once again, hitting all of those corners, each and every single one of those wall bangs, and it'll all fall onto the shoulders of Derp. What can he do? How many players will he be able to find early game before we even see these players come in there for the defense, before Huntsman goes in there to plant those bombs? They will be able to dictate the pace at the get-go, but it's not going to be easy against a team like Smart Omega, like you said, who have been pumping through that, who have the adrenaline pumping through their veins, and they've carried that momentum on from that previous series into this. Absolutely perfect.
Absolutely perfect indeed. And but now it's time for us for the side of Huntsman to make that comeback, you know, get that composure going. Like what we said, they've been in the scene for so long. They know how it feels to be down 0-1, 0-2, 0-3 as well. So
yeah,
we need that kind of Huntsman. We need that old RSG, as we would say, you know, Derp, that core 4. They need to, you know, they need to assert themselves. It's looking like they're not the body language. I just see it. I kind of see it as well. They're just not in their A game.
There's just no ifs, buts, or maybes about it, right? They just have to find it, and they have to go out there and hit hard. And I kind of understand exactly where Huntsmen are coming from, because the competition is tough. Because it's not just Smart Omega, you know, the old boys that you used to meet down in these competitions when Call of Duty Mobile was such a new thing, but it's also the smaller teams like Aguila Esports stepping up to the plate a little bit later, but still being able to surpass them in many of these aspects. It most definitely will hurt your ego, but you just got to do what champions do, man. You got to pick yourself up, you just got to find those shots, and you just got to hit hard. 5v4 from the get-go, Huntsman down by one man as the attacking side. You don't want that.
You don't want that indeed, but you're trying to find a spot here. It's in a very, very bad spot here. Just trying to get something with that sniper, but Whoopi as well has a lineup with a nade. Beautiful nade. Shots are going to go down. Bomb is going to go down as well. Derp takes down Kendi. Eds takes down JZ. Edger takes down Globey 3 versus 3, but Alfari gonna go in, gets a two-piece, huge two-piece coming in through. That leaves Whoopi in a 1 versus 3 with a sniper. Not a very doable if he can take out Derp here, but he's gonna go through. And he's gonna try to go for the ninja. Decides not to spot Derp. Misses that shot. Not very Whoopi-like, and unfortunately Alfari, he takes down Whoopi. First round goes to Huntsman. I like it. Aggression coming through.
Yeah, this is exactly what we need out of the Huntsman. MX9 in the hands of Alfari. The guy has the DPS on there. You see the game face now on Derp, and they want to bring it in this SND. Let's see how much more they can do. Early down onto, was it Glowy earlier that kind of punished them. The momentum right back in Jericho.
Yeah, they found, Alfari just, pushed out, aggressive, very confident. You can see that confidence rising back now, but now a little bit slower. He spots Derp here. Whoopi does not get it. He gets him with the second shot. If you miss one, you won't miss the second one. I love it from Whoopi. That's going to stop. No more long-range support coming in from Huntsman.
Unfortunate if you are Derp, man. No smoke, no cover, just running across crossfire when the ones in front of you is Smart Omega. And Whoopi is on the snipes. This is a GGWP right there. Jay-Z gets Ed's grenade on for the pop. No trophy system being played. Alfari finds a trade, but Kevs punishes. 4v1 now. Make that 4v none as Omega makes a good comeback to pull 1 round.
1 round, very, very good answer. Whoopi, I feel like he could have gotten that clutch in round 1. Didn't get it, but finally getting that early kill into Derp. That's gonna stop the sniper push. So, and with that being down, it lets the Omega players be more aggressive. But now look at Whoopi in a very, very that hit marker, very unfortunate. But he's gonna take out Eds here. I think he is, but no, the help is there. Unfortunately, 4 versus 3 now. Derp takes on Kevs. And now that's going to be a clear plan for the side of Omega. For the side of Huntsman, actually, and Aydra in a very tough position. Kendi gets that trade, 2 versus 3.
Jay-Z, but Raven with a good one. And now, just one last player in the name of Idra. CBR in the hand, but Type 25 on the side of Idra. It doesn't matter. Ed gets him with a CBR. Huntsman now up 2-1. And the Malaysian side, they just need to keep this pressure on. They just need to find those players early, Jericho.
Yeah, very early, and they got lucky with Whoopi's hit marker there, AJ. It could have just changed things there. But unfortunately, the Call of Duty gods giving him that hit marker, making it 2-1 now. Now here comes the smoke. Is this going to be a rush play? Again, Alfari takes down Kevs. Whoopi in the same position. But so far, Raven got through. But can Whoopi can find someone here? Jay-Z and Whoopi gets 1. It's going to be a 4 versus 3 now. Eds gets taken out. The trade comes through, but he's there. Idra with the trade. 2v2 now. Things are going to get slower. But Kendi, he's going to get spotted by Derp. Last player alive is Captain Jay-Z. Can he clutch it up?
Taking on a sniper. And Alfari, who probably has the MX9 on hand. Long range, short range, both covered. It's all about positioning now. Jay-Z trying to spot him out, and I think he knows exactly where Derp is. Derp, on the other hand, has no idea. Still trying to spot out Captain Jay-Z. Finally does have that information on him. First shot does not get the kill just yet. The bomb now planted. Derp will be able to find him. And Huntsman, 3-1. This is what Malaysia needs. Can they now keep up the same amount of pressure? They most definitely need to, because after this, the bomb goes to the hands of Smart Omega.
They really need to find something here. And I like this momentum shifting over. It's there. You see them, just game faces on. And now, Omega, they tried that rush 2 rounds in a row. Did not pan out the way they did. Things are just going to slow down now. Look at that. Just less aggression coming in from them. I like that adjustment. But for the side of Huntsman, they're scared now because they know that's going to happen. But Kendi takes down Eds. That's going to be the first pick. 4 versus 5. And that's what Omega needs.
Derp, though, can he find any of these players? Very patient, not exposing himself as well, keeping that angle, making sure he doesn't expose his head. Nobody's going to be able to find him just yet, but Kevs, a lot of pressure can be played through that KRM if he steps up, but Whoopi finds Alfari out of nowhere. From the side of Butchers, will be able to punish Glowy now. A lot of pressure, but he won't be able to turn it around. Kevs shut down. Whoopi shuts down Glowy from Butchers yet again. Whoopi's just doing so much in this round.
Yeah, he's just doing so much here. Kendy's gonna spot one. He's gonna give that call out. Derp takes down Kendy. 3 versus 2. Whoopi takes down Derp.
My.
Last player alive is gonna be Raven. Kendy clutch it. He's gonna get taken out by Jay-Z. That's gonna equalize things. So not equalize, but at least get 2 rounds on the other side. And now Omega on the offense. Very, very winnable if you are Omega.
Yeah, I mean, I used to shout Whoopi the best sniper in the Philippines because quite honestly, when he first started, that's all he was the best at, right? He was one of the best at the sniper, and that's all he did. But now he has become one of the best all-rounded player on the side of Smart Omega. The guy is a monster out there on the battlefield, most definitely an asset to any of the teams he is a partner to. And Smart Omega, they have got one of the best for sure. But now as they take on the Huntsman, they've been able to pull one round back as the switch of sides. A very slow approach from the Filipinos. Derp not going to be able to find any one of those wall banks just yet, but Alfari will be able to punish Idra after he takes Eds down. That's a good trade 4v4. Alfari, can he check his corner?
Yeah,
against the sniper.
Oof. That's going to be a good kill. Candy takes down Raven. Derp takes down Candy. Trays are coming through. A little bit aggressive there for the side of Glowy. Kebs does take one down. 3 versus 2. Whoopi spots that player. He knows he's going to be there. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 now. Whoopi takes down Derp. Last player alive. It's going to be Jay-Z taking him out. Alfari say hello to the next round. 3-3.
And this is what Huntsman needs to worry about. Earlier on, they've kind of found their momentum on the attacking side, but on the defense, they have to worry about one more thing as well, right? The pressure coming through from the bomb, and above everything else, Whoopi's just being such a pain. And they shut him down. Now Candy with the sniper as well. Jay-Z will be able to get Derp out with the grenade, and that's just unfortunate. Whoopi on the other hand, a lot of pressure, finds one more. Jay-Z with a double, and this might just be round over. Jay-Z with the backstab. Whoopi punishes Eds. One final player left in the name of Raven, the one with the best KD so far, but hit mark on him. Whoopi finds him, but Idra steals it either way. 4-3, Smart Omega now in front.
I mean, now this is just where the momentum is shifting. You know, offensive side, the better side in Crossfire. Huntsman, they got 3 rounds off it. But so far, Omega making it, getting that lead 4-3. And I like this strategy for the double sniper setup, but he gets information that 3 are pushing through the right side, and Derp takes him out. That's what you get for staying too long. Candy being aggressive, he's gonna pay for that one. 3-5 now. Idra gets 1, but Idra gets traded out. Kevs gets Eds as well. Back and forth we go. 2 versus 3, slowing things down, but we do see Alfari. On top gets 1, doesn't have that trade, but Kebs takes him out. Now it's going to be a 2 versus 2. I don't like that from Alfari.
It's just a moment of weakness in terms of decision making, but now Derp has an opportunity here. No scopes just yet. Glowy on the other hand, just waiting for that plant. Not getting aggressive. The bomb's still there. Is he going to be able to get this backstab timing? And he finds Jay-Z.
Finds
Three
Jay-Z.
positions. 2v1 now, Jericho.
Yeah, that's a big kill there. That stops the bomb, but it's up to Kebs here. The soldier of the team. Can he find a clutch here? Kebs just has to pick up the bomb. He knows Glowy is there, but if he crosses, he's going to get sniped. He spots Glowy on the right. Shots going down, but Glowy just a little bit better with that slide cancel. That's going to come through. 4-4 now. Equalizing things, and it's a recipe for a round 11, AJ.
I'll take that. I'll take that. I mean, Huntsman needs to win this no matter what. If it's going to take 11 rounds to get that done, I'll take that. The Malaysian side just needing to stay alive. Derp now repositioning himself real quickly towards the broken building's backyard. The snipes from here most definitely will hurt. Double on the grenade, but usually the trophy on the side of Smart Omega, solid as ever. Nobody pushes. The grenade just falls a little short. We need to readjust that, Jericho.
They need to readjust that. You know, they've been doing it at the same time and over again. I feel like that play call by A, that last shot, was just not it for me. I feel like they should just kept on hitting B, and now sticking back to their old plays. No bomb drop yet, but look at that triple stack over by the side of Huntsman, and Whoopi, he's in a very open spot here. He could just get taken out here, but so far, no shots yet. They're going to get into a better angle. Trying to find someone with the sniper. Smoke is out. Does he spot Whoopi? I don't think Whoopi spots him. Look at that. The player's pushing through this building. Kebs, he's going to go. Ninja's going to get taken out. Kebs gets 1. Still alive. He's going to spot a second player. He's going to get 2. How is this possible? No trades from Huntsman. Last player alive, finally. Raven, he takes down Kebs. It's going to be a 3 versus 3. bomb is still in the side of Omega. That's going to slow things down for them. But Chloe in a very aggressive spot here. Derp takes down Candy. It's going to be a 2 versus 3.
I love the backup right there now with the pressure, and Whoopi shut down as well. Huntsman, can they get this? Jay-Z with a good response. It's a 2v1. All in the hands of Captain now. Picks up the bomb. Goes in for the plant. Raven on the other hand. Here's that. Is he going to be able to hit this? To the corner of his feet. Hit mark. Yes, he does. And Raven manages to get that clutch. And 5-4. Match point for Huntsman.
Match point for Huntsman. They need this win right here, AJ. Very, very important round. Can they close it out? Or will Omega force a round 11? Here we go, Omega. What kind of strategy going to go? They might just let Whoopi do his thing again. In a different position now. Trying to find something. So far, no aggression. 4-man stack towards to A by the side of Huntsman. No one staying at Butchers. They're just waiting for a pick again. And Derp, he spots another player there. That's going to be information for them. But just slowing things down. Omega, they're not going to be aggressive here anymore. And I feel like Huntsman, they might just do that same play they did in the last round.
Yeah, and
They are.
hopefully that is going to be perfect in terms of a play. Alfari with the backstab finds Sidra. Can he get another? Heads on the other hand, not over aggressive. Alfari, yes, he does. Jay-Z punished. He gets Candy as well. 3 now. Can he get the 4th? Goes in. Backstab time. Timing. Glowy finds Kevs. It's a 5v1. Whoopi all alone, but he manages to prevent the defusal. And it's all over now as Raven finds the kill. Huntsman, what a play. What a comeback.
What a comeback indeed. 6-4. Now they equalize things 1-1 just to make things really interesting now. I like it from Huntsman. They did the same play twice and it worked out. Either he got caught by 3 players. Can't really win a gunfight from there. And now Huntsman have that momentum. Can they keep it up in that domination takeoff? That map, I'm just scared for that map because I don't know what went through the map picking of Huntsman. Because I do believe, Omega, they're pretty good in takeoff, but we may never know what kind of play Huntsman might just bring out.
Well, Huntsman just took one of the best Omega maps and beat them at it, right? On S&D on top of everything else. Even on a day that Whoopi was alive and kicking and those snipes were hitting, Derp finally managed to find his momentum, finally managed to find his style, and all of those angles that he came back with in response were absolutely solid. Omega had Jay-Z and the Huntsman had Alfari. And with the MX-9, the guy was just on the prowl. He had so much mobility, able to move a little quicker, walks, and he had the Skulker on. He was able to sneak up on them, and the moment he finds them, the DPS on the MX-9 just gave him that supreme control, even though a lot of these players were favoring the CBR throughout the match.
Yeah, the CBR just making wonders for both of these teams. But Alfari actually using the MX-9 in an off-meta weapon, maybe he's taking notes from Flash, from Gaijin Flash, working through that.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
He made it work. AJ, huge kills coming in from him all throughout the game, and that's what kind of Alfari he needs. You need that aggressive Alfari, just like before in RSG. I hope he can keep it up in the respawns because at that hard point he was really playing terrible. But let's see in this domination takeoff, can they be consistent?
Yeah, and I like the fact that all of these players, what they're showing out there on the battlefield is that the game is growing and the meta is being balanced through all of the weapons that are available, right? You're not just going to have to be forced to all just use the newest gun that has been released season after season. You do have the flexibility of going in there and mastering a certain weapon. And of course, hoping and praying it doesn't get nerfed in the following season. But it's most definitely something that is a viable option out there now, Jericho.
Yeah, it's a viable option, but that new patch coming out, AJ, unfortunately, it did nerf the Type 25. Very questionable for Garena, I'm not gonna lie. You don't really have to roll out an update during a tournament because it just changes the whole thing. The HBR can come into play.
Yes.
Also the MX-9 is kind of back. So a lot of it just shows how these pros are dedicated because even if there is an update, they just manage to know what to use, and that's why the CBR, a very, very great weapon for a pro player.
Yeah.
Let's see now if Huntsman, if they can be consistent, if they can play like that in S&D, I hope they can play it in Respawn.
Absolutely, man. And now the C flag immediately on the capture for the side of Smart Omega. Huntsman, on the other hand, just a little slow, just taking their time on the A flag because they're overcommitting. They want to go in here, flip the spawns. They want the C flag, and they will be able to get the C flag from the get-go. But now prevention coming through. Idra, is he going to be able to get there on time? No backup coming through just yet for this player who's taking the backstab, and Idra will be able to punish Whoopi with a triple, and the markers will be cleared. But Smart Omega, they have been distracted. No B flag on the play as well. Huntsman, they should have invested a few more men just to be able to pull that C flag more confidently, Jericho. That was a little too soft.
Yeah, a little too soft indeed. I think they were trying to get that mid control age. They're trying to slay some players as well. But so far, it's been working out for them. You know, getting some kills here, trapping that player and see if they can take out that number one. It's going to be Jay-Z. It's going to be very, very huge. But now, it's all up to the player. Number 3, he's going to get taken out. Fari gets taken out. That's going to hit the reset button.
Yeah.
And now Omega, they have the power positions. And let's see if they can...
Candy manages to bag Derp. No backstab for you, son. Whoopi and Jay-Z, as usual, shining bright out there. I disagree with you, though, Jericho, because it just feels like Huntsmen are dividing all of their efforts out there on the battlefield and not really focusing on one area together as a squad. And against Smart Omega, that's exactly what you're going to need. Either pressure the B flag or send your forces in to flip the spawns and pull away the C. You cannot be doing both at the same time. Now, as I say that, they win those gunfights. They take the pincer maneuver. They need to win this. But Jay-Z punishes. Glowy finds Whoopi. That backstab still possible. Are we going to see a solo man capture come through from Alfari? He shouldn't, but he over-aggresses with those shots. But he still stays alive for that backup. The backup needs to come through, and he does find it in the name of Eds.
Then finally, the backup came through. What should have done at the start is now happening. They finally captured A and C, but for how long can they hold it? Here comes the push coming in from Omega. 4 players, 2 more players go down. But the spawns are in favor of Huntsman. They do have it. The Predators on takedown.
Nice!
Ooh, beautiful usage of the score streaks. Alfari popping off. That is what you need if you're a Huntsman fan.
Yes, sir.
And now, for the side of Omega, they have a little bit of a lead here, but which flag are they going to go for? And so far, split push from both sides. But I feel like C, they're trying to go for that C, but look at that pressure by Huntsman. Even though they have those both of those flags, they're still pressuring that B flag.
Oh, I love this. Eds now just playing the defense on that C flag really smart. The boys need to be able to work for this B flag as one unit now as the players of Smart Omega go back in there to retrieve their home flag. They want to hold that spawn on once again, reaching that 75-point mark. Smart Omega, they want to close this off, but B flag triple cap held on for 1 fraction of a second before Huntsman loses that C flag all over. B now on for the loss as well. Huntsman, no prevention coming through. Annihilator not activated. Good on them because you want to use that for the second half for the early B flag capture. But Huntsman, I feel like they've done enough and they're going to slack off now because that 75-point mark just at the next tick.
Yeah, the next tick indeed, 75-60. Good half for the side of both teams. You know, Huntsman, they actually made a small of a comeback there, AJ. 15-point lead for Omega. Can they keep it up? But now, story is here. Who's going to bring out that Annihilator fast? I feel like Omega, they could just bring it out now and, you know, try to push through. But let's see. A and C going to be captured. And now the battle for launch center begins. Kev's going to be the first one in. What can he find? He finds Eds, but he's going to get taken out by Annihilator. He's going to bring it out already. And Ed so far gets that 1 kill. What can he get out of this one? He's going to push through these spawns.
Oh,
but he's
no.
going to get taken out by Edra. That's just so unfortunate. Going to get caught sprinting. And they gave up that C flag now. Now Kendi, he's going to wait for his teammates before he hops on it.
Ed should have just held on to scaffolding whilst one of his players goes in there for the cap on Bravo. You know someone's going to be on the second floor of control. That's exactly what Alfari wants to eliminate, and he takes Whoopi out of the equation. But just before Whoopi went down, we didn't spot him, I believe, fully streaked up. Or was that Alfari, Jericho?
That was Whoopi actually, fully checked out with a cluster strike, 15 kills. And Omega, they managed to capture C, and I think if once Whoopi gets out of it, he might just plant that cluster strike over at C. But
yeah.
So far, Jay-Z, the last player alive, and there we go. That's the cluster strike that we need. That's gonna be very, very huge. Ed's still alive, finally gonna get taken out. And they have A and C so far, but look at the 2 players of Omega already on that A flag. Sentry gun in the middle, so all of the map control is gonna go to the side of Smart Omega. Huntsman, they need to focus on 1 flag.
You know, one of the score streaks that I want to see is maybe just a small umbrella that can protect you from the cluster strike map. Because as the objective player, that would have made such a huge difference on the battlefield. 101-78 now. Smart Omega Trying to run away with this with the sentry on setup for the B flag as well, but nobody's played it just yet, so the sentry's a little useless. Glowy should be able to take it out of the equation, but doesn't spot it just yet. Will now step on by, tries to shut down Kendi. Unfortunately, scaffolding blocks his view, and 85 to 108. Huntsman, they've got a good run, and with Glowy there, scaffolding a little unlucky as Whoopi finds his back. Now they're in trouble, Jericho.
Now they're in trouble indeed. 110 to 91. Huntsmen finally making this comeback, but can they keep it up? They need to win most of their gunfights here, and so far, mid-map control given to them. And Omega regrouping, trying to push through C. And your first player gonna come in. He's gonna take down Kendi. Raven brings out his Annihilator. And so far, Huntsman knocking on the door of Omega. 115 to 99. And here we go. This push might just change the whole series right here. AJ Ed's winning that first gunfight on a 3-kill spree. Can he keep on going? 3 more kills to beat at the back. Eds is going to try to fight for his life. Does he have backup? No backup whatsoever. He's going to push through here. Big gunfights right here. Eds is going to try to get taken out by Kendi. Takes him out, and that might be the push rate. But there's a sentry gun in B, so Omega, they have to push to C.
Oh, here comes the Brad! Manages to bag one, but the defense now, 2 players on the Huntsman going in there for the invest because they know they've got the sentry on standby to protect their B flag. Backstab's not gonna come through for the side of Kevs as he gets taken out by Alfari. Derp and the CBR still holding on to the launch center, and the Huntsman trying to equalize. Just a few more seconds away. They need to have this for at least 3 more seconds. Whoopi on for the challenge. Is Derp gonna be able to find Indra? Unfortunately, that re-aim will deliver the kill to the side of Indra, and Huntsman now 1 more second away from catching up with the players of Smart Omega, and they've done so much to get to this point, but can they close things off as well? They just need to continue playing like this because they are doing amazing, Jericho.
They're doing amazing, and now the Equalizer stepping into the fray here. 134 to 133 on Omega. No gunfights winning so whatsoever. The cluster track comes in. Is he gonna take it out? Jay-Z still alive though, but the damage has been done, and I feel like that just might be it. Jay-Z gonna be the last player alive to try to help that A flag, but the cluster track still up and running. Jay-Z, he's gonna get taken out. Glowy still making a play, but here comes the triple cap. Game number 3 is over, and Huntsman being consistent is key, and they are doing it in an expense of Omega. 150 to 138. Huntsman 2 to 1. AJ.
This has just been a fantastic run from the side of Huntsman. Finally, we see the smiles, but they cannot falter. You see the game face that Eds has on. That's exactly what they all need to focus in on. Having their game faces, being super religious in pulling off all of the strategies together as one squad, just as they did in this domination matchup, man. Because if they are able to do that, not only will they be able to survive, but they should be able to beat Smart Omega 150 to 138. What a comeback.
What a comeback indeed, and it's all started with the boys of Derp and Alfari. Alfari, setting that tone right, and that's what you need. If you have all these numbers, AJ, you are most certainly going to win. And for the side of Omega, they started off really strong, but once that second half switch, once they lost that flag and that lead, you just saw that they were just really clawing their way back. They were trying to find something, but the score streak usage of Huntsman just perfect at that last moment, AJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. You have to love those spread missiles that came through for the defense, and I do agree with you, right? It is the strategy on the side of the Huntsman, which was so much more solid in comparison to Smart Omega. Not that Smart Omega were making any mistakes, but Huntsman were doing so many more things right on their own end in order to fight back, because what Smart Omega had going their way was the better spawns, number 1, and number 2, they were just winning a majority of their gunfights. And no matter what the players of Huntsman tried to do from the early get-go, which was get that C flag, it proved to be quite the tough challenge. But it was the mistake initially that they were making, where they were going in for the flag and not focusing as a team. They were spread out on the field. They were playing both the B as well as the C flag, both at the same time. But the moment they found out, okay, you know what? If we focus together and take loading area first, pull away that C flag, we should be able to sustain it. That's where we saw the backup come through from Eds. And when they did have the sustainability there, taking on Smart Omega wasn't a problem. Huntsman, they've done enough to now make a comeback 2 to 1 after they got destroyed at Raid Hardpoint, Jericho.
Yeah, and I wish I feel like they could have, if they could go back in time and fix that Raid Hardpoint, it would have been a 3-0. But game's not over. Game number 4 now. Hackney Yard Hardpoint This is where Omega might just shine, AJ. We saw them in Hardpoint, in Hackney Yard Domination.
Yeah.
Hardpoint, different kind of game mode, more on the rotations, getting into those power possessions at the start. They be very, very important. But also another story, can Huntsman be consistent? Again, we keep on saying it because, guys, once Huntsmen, if they are consistent, they are a strong team to beat.
Oh, yeah.
AJ. That's a fact. But Omega, former world champions, they can also turn it up. So a lot of possibilities in this game number 4. Huntsmen trying to get this 3-1. Omega trying to force a game number 5.
For me, it's all about the leadership. And Huntsman right now, I feel like they are being led quite well. To take these matches up against Smart Omega, it takes quite a lot of decision-making, and in-game leadership needs to be absolutely stellar. Those instructions, the covers, those calls need to be absolutely perfect from all of those players, and only a leader will be able to keep things together whilst, you know, it gets chaotic out there on the battlefield. And for now, Smart Omega, they seem to be doing a lot. Question is, how will Huntsman break this hold? They pull in the pincer maneuver from the window as well as the access from scaffolding. They are inside of the warehouse now. 3 more gunfights to win. They do it. And for the first time, they pick up a few points at this Hackney Yard.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very important. But look at the map, 82 players already rotating to P2. And that's what they need. You know, Omega, they got the points that they need and even getting the scrap time. At the same time, getting the spawn. So huge plays coming in from Omega. They do have everything unlocked, but Huntsman, they're going to fight through this one. And this just might be that play that they need. So far, Kev still fighting for that old hill. He's going to get taken out by Ed. 32-19 at the moment. And now here comes the rotation. Big gunfights for both sides.
They need to be able to win each and every single one here because this is a hard hill to break. Kendi trying to make it difficult outside, but now a 3-man push coming through all at the same time. Pincer maneuver from the back as well. Nobody stepping through from Abandon just yet, but it is a 1v2 challenge. And yes, the hill will go through Huntsman. What a play by the Malaysians. But now the challenge comes through. Interrupt from that backstab. Type 25 still popping off. He does not get taken out just yet, but Derp in the CBR will be able to win his gunfight. And the tire shop in contest as Smart Omega refuses to give this up. Can they get the spawn? And yes, I think they did.
Yeah, I think they just did, but here more players from the Huntsman still contesting it as well. Daisy, he's gonna get taken now, still fighting for that P2. Such a crazy P2. Afari takes down Whoopi. No shotgun for him, and that's gonna force out the Omega players to rotate, but they're gonna still push it. 3 more players. Alfari, can he make a big play? He's gonna try to take down one, but Whoopi shuts it down. 50-43. Here comes the P3 rotation, and now we do have Huntsman on the rotation. They take down Edra. No early rotation for Omega. Now Huntsman, it's time for them to get some points here. Can they do it?
Yeah, B3 is not about the hard point. B3 is about the perimeter of the hard point. Can you lock down the area of access? Send in just one objective player to hold the points for your team. The one objective player just needs to lie down. There's not going to be any of those utilities that the side of Omega can make use of perfectly, but they just barge on through with those gunfights. They win each and every single one. And Smart Omega now inside of the hard point, all comfortable. Can Huntsman get this break? Kendi from the roof. He gets taken out by Alfari, and this is that setup, but Whoopi is on standby as the objective player with the KRM.
And the KRM coming into fruition here. Whoopi finally breaks the hill, 83-49. And Huntsman, yes, they did get that early rotation, but Omega, they managed to break a great break coming through from them. And Whoopi, he's going to take everyone down upstream here, but with the help of his teammates, he doesn't even have to do anything. Omega, they're just milking out this whole hill, and I like it from them. But Raven at the back, trying to make a play as well, but he's going to get he's still alive there, actually. Might be a very important position here. Raven, he's going to get taken out, and now the battle for P4. Again, same story. Huntsman on the rotation, but here comes the break.
Oh, I absolutely love what Omega did at that P3, right? Sending only one objective player like we were talking about, and that was in the name of Whoopi. And with the KRM, he manages to hold his own whilst all of the perimeter gets secured by the rest of his team members. That's exactly how you play such an open hard point. And now at P4, inside of Office, it gets a little bit more tricky, but Whoopi makes it easy with his KRM. Close range combat. This guy, he was already hitting those long shots. Hitting it close won't be a problem at all, Jericho.
Yeah, hitting it close, not a problem indeed. It's Smart Omega. They're just about to close it out right now. 125-56. Kevs takes out the Annihilator. Can anyone contest? But so far, everything is just going for the way of Smart Omega. 20 more points left for the contest. That's going to be Glowy. More players trying to push in through, but it's the damage has been done. Permesa on the ready. Whoopi's going to bring that out in a while. 10 more points. Huntsmen, can they find anything? I don't think so, AJ, and I feel like this is just going to be a game number 5.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that this Hardpoint was very somber on the side of Huntsman. It was just perfectly played. I mean, just like what we can say for the previous game at Domination, right? Smart Omega, they played it well at takeoff, but Huntsman played it better, and that's the exact same comment I have for this Hardpoint at Hackney Yard. Huntsman, they were good. They were going in there for those rotations. They knew how to play their positions, but Smart Omega just played each and every single one of those angles better by winning each and every single one of their gunfights. Score streaks were used to perfection as well. Whoopi wasn't missing any of those Annihilator shots, which is quite annoying because even without the Annihilator, with the KRM, it was pretty much an Annihilator already.
Yeah, Annihilator just coming out to play, AJ, and the story here again, AJ. We just keep on coming back to the problem. The slaying power of Huntsman, it's gone. And again, Omega and Hardpoint, they are undefeated today, and so far things are just looking good for them. Look at that, 14 for Glowy, 30 for Alfari. Then you have Derp with 9 and Raven with 4. You can't have those numbers. You're not going to win a Hardpoint. For the side of Omega, all kills are spreaded equally. And then you have those star players like Kevs and Idra, Whoopi as well, just, doing all these individual plays. Everything was on point. And, I feel like Huntsman, if they could just turn back time in that Hardpoint, AJ, I feel like they would really take that.
Dude, can we give Whoopi some love and respect here? Because look at this guy, man.
2
at
minutes.
At one point, you know what Smart Omega used to be known as? A group of slayers, right? Everybody's going out there. Everybody's getting those highlight reels for themselves. And, what was the biggest weakness on the side of Smart Omega? Those objectives weren't being played to the T. And here's one guy who steps up to the plate, drops his sniper, drops his highlight reels, picks up the guns that, you usually don't see him playing on, and he just plays those objectives to the T. Whoopi. Just within this series, Jericho, he has just been proving so much, and how much he has grown is very, very clearly seen. But as we drop into firing range, search and destroy, the previous S&D taken by the Huntsman with the pacing and their adjustments, can they do it once again? It will be a huge upset, but also a huge warning sign to the side of Smart Omega that, they might have been out of the competitive scene a little too long for all of these other teams to catch up, Jericho.
Yeah, and to your point about Whoopi, I feel like a lot of people before he was called as a one-dimensional player, as being a sniper.
Yeah.
And then you just saw him grow and grow and grow to this unstoppable force that he can be a flexible player. And I feel like that's an inspiration to all those snipers out there. You don't just have to be a sniper. You can use a KRM, you can use a CBR, you can use a Type 25. If you're that kind of player, I feel like Whoopi is a great inspiration to all these players. But now, back to business, AJ. Game number 5 was not expected. Yeah.
One more point, right, to whatever you were saying there. And he's still a kick-ass sniper.
Well, is he still the best, AJ? I'm going to put you on the spot.
One of the best. Not the best sniper, one of the best. But as an all-rounded player, we always used to highlight Idra for being one of the best, if not the best. I think Whoopi might steal that title away from Idra very soon when it comes to Smart Omega.
I definitely agree with you, but now, here we go. First blood goes to the side of Smart Omega. 4 versus 5 now. They get the pick. They're going to rush through in Derp. He's in a world of trouble here. He might just get taken out. Yes, he does. Jay-Z takes down Derp, but Raven gets the trade on Kevs, but man advantage still goes to the side of Omega. They're going to get this bomb down, set up for that trailer, and that's just the perfect setup that you want for. But number 5 on your screen, that's going to be Jay-Z. He gets a snipe off Alfari, makes it 4 versus 2, and this round looking very, very clean for the side of Smart Omega.
Jay-Z now, CBR and DLQ. Do you need an overkill? If you're Jay-Z, that's what overkill looks like. But Whoopi scores that quick score, Glowy punished, and Smart Omega picks up a very clean and secure, confident first round.
Very, very clean. Very clean. I mean, they lost one player, but it didn't matter. And but great trades coming in from them. The execution was on point. Now Derp did get a tag with that stun, but again, look at Omega just trying to find some picks here. Anyone who has information, they're gonna relay it back to them. I just like it for them. Very, very great S&D. They know that Huntsman very unpredictable. What kind of play is gonna come out here? But fire range AJ. it just changes the whole thing because it's a very small map.
Yeah, and it will be holding down all of these long angles. That small map becomes even smaller as the defenders. And they find their angles. It will be Whoopi with the first peek, and he will be able to punish Derp no matter what. Trophies on the play. One player inside of White Warehouse. Whoopi's already on the scope. He's just waiting for the player to over-aggress, which he does, but Eds bags him with the CBR instead. Kendi now versus Eds. Is he going to be able to pull out the secondary? Does he have the thumper on the play? Glowy for the backup as well. Kendi punishes Eds. Glowy too slow. Will be able to find Kendi. Good trade. Spots out another player. 3v2. The numbers on the side of Huntsman. And what a tease, Indra.
Yeah, what a tease indeed. But now 2 versus 3. Mad advantage goes to them. They do have that bomb secured. So that's going to be a very, very good position for Huntsman. And Omega, they have to fight through. And Indra takes down Alfari. Makes it a 2 versus 2 now. And now, if you are Omega, you could just push through this trailer, get the trade, but Kev's he's gonna find one. Glowy, he gets taken out, and now when it turned to a 3 versus 2, it's a 2 versus 1. Bomb is gonna go down. Either watching over him, and Raven has the M13, can definitely take down 2 with that whole mag, but Bomb is down. And this round, it was looking good for Huntsman, but now Omega, they might just steal it away.
Raven just needs to play clutch plays, just needs to walk, just needs to crawl, does whatever. He's got the Gulker. Skulker as well as Dead Silence, but 2 players for the challenge at the same time. Will be able to bag Smart Omega the second round.
Smart Omega with the second round. I love it. I love what I'm seeing there. Just calculating each and every single play. That's how you have to play S&D. You know, you can't just go in there guns blazing. And, you know, Huntsman, they had that round. It's just, I just don't know, why would you get picked off by a player? All you had to do was watch it. Whoopi spots that player. This is that snipe, unfortunately, but the rush comes through. Here comes Omega, 3-man rush coming into middle. Idra takes down Raven, and they're just going to get that mid-map control, but Eds gets that trade over at Idra. Now, here comes the trailer push. Eds, he's going to get taken up by Whoopi. They take control of A. Bomb going down again.
No idea how Whoopi hit that shot, but it's Whoopi stuff. 4v3 now. Huntsman, they try to make a comeback in here. Glowy with the thumper, not going to find anyone just yet. Look at the positioning from Smart Omega. Nobody's being spotted out here. Kendi is the only one holding a far out angle. Won't be able to punish one with the one that's holding. Backup comes through from Jay-Z, but he gets sacrificed. Kendi finds the trade onto Derp, and it's a 3v1. And Kendi finishes things off. Smart Omega 3-0. Huntsman, they struggle, but they got to make a comeback right now, or it's going to be too late, Jericho.
Yeah, they gotta start. They gotta get these next 2 rounds here, AJ, just to, you know, try to be relaxed for a while. But so far, Omega playing very, very flawlessly. I love everything from what I'm seeing right now. Just the execution, everything being perfect for them. And now Huntsman, they decide to double stack that A side. 1 in trailer, 1 in the middle, and Dirt finally spots Whoopi. That's gonna stop the push right there. And now Omega, they don't have their sniper anymore. What can they find? They're trying to find a cheeky spot. Will not spot anyone, but here comes the B-Rush. 3 players from Omega pushing through. They're going to meet Alfari over there. Can Alfari find the kill there, or will he just get taken out? Alfari's free-firing. He does get 1, but the trade comes in there. 4 versus 3. Mad advantage again to the side of Huntsman, but not anymore. 3 versus 3, but Derp takes down Idra. 3 versus 2. That's going to force the players of Huntsman to rotate, and smart play from Omega. They're just going to rotate back to A.
Derp showing that his snipes can find each and every single one of those players, but it's a little unfortunate because the attack is on the other side of the map. Shooting range taken over by Smart Omega. Plant's gonna come through as well, just faking it out, but they're all in the clear. The retake from Huntsman, it needs to be a long flank from Showers. One player needs to position himself there, and if possible, it has to be Derpman as the sniper holding on to that long angle. He will be able to force the rest of those players from Smart Omega down. But both of those plays inside of White Warehouse. Utilities need to be played here. Grenade. Can it come out?
I think they could just push through right here. Play for trade and trailer. They're going to try to go for those 1v1 gunfights. Jay-Z takes down Glowy. Here comes Ed in that trailer. Ed's going to spot 1, but 15 seconds left. They have to move. Here comes Jay-Z. Trying to just slide out. He does get 1. 1 more. Jay-Z. Captain Jay-Z just making all the plays. He's going to get all of them. And Jay-Z making the play. 4-0. Huntsman again, up in the man advantage, AJ. No teamwork whatsoever.
The thumper doesn't work on Jay-Z, man. The thumper just doesn't work on him, right? I mean, smart on the repositioning, slides away, avoids the thumper, slides right back to the defense, plays the head glitch, finds the rest of the players on the side of Huntsman. I mean, if that was a highlight play, that was it right there for this matchup.
That was the highlight play. I mean, Jay-Z can just take on everything. That's why he is that captain. But here comes Glowy. He's going to be expecting 5 players. Unfortunately, slides out at the wrong moment. Kev takes down 1, takes down 2 with a KRM. Beautiful. Can the Thumper make anything? No, but he's going to get information. Idra is there for the backup. Everything is just working out for the Omega team. And Huntsmen, they need to find something in this game number 5.
Yeah, so far it doesn't look good. And now Ed CBR will be able to spray, but the KRM just needs one shot. Oh, Thumper comes out instead. Raven taken out at the vehicle, and Kendi, what a backstab.
Flawless.
And Huntsman, they are suffering in the hands of Smart Omega. As we switch sides, they've got nothing.
I mean, flawless round. I mean, if you were Glowy there, you should have just committed to that side. You didn't have to pull back anymore because your teammates are behind you, and just those small mistakes are really the one that's causing it. But Derp opened things up, taking down Idra. 5 versus 4 again. Man advantage to the side of Huntsman. Can they find something here? They do find a fight here. Trailer is wide open, AJ. They can just make a push there. But number 3, that's going to be Kendi. He has an angle towards middle. Derp will not find anything. He's going to be the Lone Ranger here on A. Trying to find a pick on his own. But if he gets taken out, no trades coming through here. 5 versus 4, AJ.
Amazing movement. Second
How
a
did
fraction
that
of a
not
second
hit?
too slow.
Yeah,
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Reset indeed. And, 2 in a row. You hate to see it. That is caught mobile for you, but so far, here comes Huntsman pushing through that trailer. 1 player in trailer as well. Derp gonna try to spot 1, but
Oh
can
my
be a little
lord.
bit better. Equalize this thing at 4v4.
But Ed's now. Can he find Kendi? Trophy system taken out of the equation, and Jay-Z shuts down Raven out of nowhere.
Yeah, and actually, Ed's got all the way through to B, and this just might be a bad timing for him. He might just get taken out, but he actually gets a kill on Jay-Z. Kendi spots him. Kendi misses that snipe, but he gets a quick scope on Glowy. That is just skill right there. 2 versus 2 now. Kendi trying to find a play. 2 versus 2. Very winnable for both sides. The double shot comes through. Kendi gets 1. Kendi gets 2. Kendi wins the game number 5, and Smart Omega stay undefeated. Beautiful plays coming in from Kendi. You can't teach that.
That's it. That was a highlight play if you had ever spotted one out of Kendi as well, man. I mean, Smart Omega, that was all they were about in this S&D against Huntsman. And what a great settling of score at that S&D. A perfect run, 6-0, not dropping a single round. Smart Omega, they hit the 2nd victory within the series of the day, and they get to rest a little bit. They'll be right back on series number 4 to close the day off. Kendi, 11 kills, MVP if there ever was one for this match, man.
I mean, whew, that was just crazy. I mean, Kendi, I definitely agree with you. The MVP of that game, Eds went through that last round. AJ, you saw Eds went through that P2 because of that smoke. Kendi all of a sudden hits a nasty quick scope on Glowy. I mean, that's very unfortunate. And after that, the double challenge comes in. None of those players from Huntsman even got a hit marker on Kendi.
I mean, it's just the next level gameplay by Smart Omega. What else can we say, right? It's just next level in terms of every single thing they were executing out there on the battlefield. We saw Kendi pick up the snipes. He was slaying. We saw Jay-Z step it up for the team as well. He always had their backs. Whoopi was covering all of those long angles. Dub did manage to find, a couple of good angles, but just not being able to deliver those shots in an apt timing, man. I mean, look at the numbers. Alfari, Raven, Eds, Derp, all getting 3 kills each on the side. It was just an unfortunate firing range S&D for the Malaysians. While Smart Omega, this was one of their best showings that we've seen.
Yeah, Smart Omega just came down 2-1, managed to win the Hardpoint and that S&D. But they do have some mistakes coming into that domination. That might just change things coming in for the side of in the playoffs. It might just haunt them. So I feel like they really have to work on that domination. But so far, flawless game 5, and you don't expect that in a game 5. A 6-0 in game 5, AJ?
That's unfortunate, if to say the least. But 150 to 56, we should have already seen that at Hackney Yard in itself, Smart Omega, they were serious and they wanted to finish off strong, right? They were not going to allow the players of Huntsman to take anything back from them. I think takeoff was just that one moment of weakness where they faltered towards the very end after a good hold, but they just didn't want to make those mistakes anymore. Whoopi, once again, as he started the day off with the KRM at raid Hardpoint, it was a great setup for the day, or for the series at the least.
Yeah, great series though. I mean that's what you expect from Huntsman and Omega. It's always going to be a game number 5, and now they showed up here. But Huntsman, it's just, you really hate to see that. You expected them to get the W in this hard point because they picked this map. It was their curveball, AJ.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they got just throttled from that P1 until to P4, the cluster strike in P5. It was just really unfortunate for them. They managed to make a little bit of a comeback during that P3, but it wasn't enough. Here in S&D, different kind of Huntsmen. This is what we like to see from them. Just very, very aggressive and just being confident in everything. And I mean, the confidence is really key here for the side of Huntsman.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Huntsman, they were able to find a great comeback in this SND, right? Especially with the snipes that Derp was finding. He was super comfortable playing Crossfire, but it just wasn't enough. I thought that it would be enough for them to build all of this momentum to take the win against Smart Omega all throughout the series. It just wasn't enough, right? But it was enough for them to carry it through into that domination matchup, which was good at the very least for the Malaysians, Jericho.
For the Malaysians, they put on a show, AJ. I mean, they put on valiant effort, but in the end, it was just pretty much Omega, that clutch gene that we always talk about. What do you have it in you? And so far, Omega, they had it. They could have ended it in a 3-0. It was a potential 3-0 for both sides, but Huntsman, they made the comeback here. It was a very, very impressive comeback.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, at this domination matchup, like you said, an impressive comeback as Smart Omega took the initial lead. There were mistakes being made by Huntsman initially, which they brought those adjustments through, right? And I'm glad to see that they did, because it would have been ultimately disappointing if they didn't make those adjustments. And Whoopi, although he was fully streaked out, we didn't see those great... Did he play the cluster? Or
I think he did use that cluster towards the end of that. Oh no, during the second half of that takeoff, AJ. But for the one here in Hackney, I think they didn't even need to use it anymore. They had the operator skills towards the end. They didn't have to work anymore.
Yeah, that most definitely wasn't much of an issue for them, right? Annihilators on for the pop towards the end. But in this SND, it was just one-sided. Huntsman, no matter what they tried, all of those angles just were wrong. Candy over-aggressive as usual. And Huntsman, they played it slow, they played it fast. Neither one worked out for them.
Mm-hmm. That is true. They just have to really, really, dig deep now if you're Huntsman, because you have to win against Aguila. That's your last moment now. That's going to be your last shot and actually qualify for the playoffs. If you're Omega, you can just lay back now. You've pretty much done your work already, and you've qualified to the playoffs.
I'm curious as to what's the score of line, because Aguila should have gone in there for a victory. And yes, they did get a victory, 3-0 off of Fury. So, like you said, it's just a little unfortunate. Huntsman now, they need to go up against Aguila. They need to get a victory. And even after getting the victory, it will be a head-to-head, which is going to be quite complicated to calculate, Jericho.
Yeah, it's really hard to calculate. But with that being said, shoulder of the game, the man that deserves no introduction, OMG, Whoopi, with a 1.29, 12 kills in 9. But I'm pretty sure it's more than that, guys. This guy is just on a mission, and I'm loving that, he's redeeming himself. He hasn't been playing really, really great in the past tournaments, but now the consistency is there, and we're starting to see that old Omega. I'm starting to feel it, AJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I 100% agree with you. And maybe this is why. Maybe because all throughout the journey, Whoopi has been trying to adjust as an objective player, because he knew that was exactly what Smart Omega needed. And as the objective player right now, all of those moments, all of that sacrifice that he has made in the matches of past where he could not perform as best as he wanted to, it's all paying off right now, right? Question is, will they be able to keep up this sort of a performance later on at the playoffs? Because they may be the Titans of Group C, but overall in the competition, we've got a few of those who can, I'm very sure, put up a great fight against them.
Yeah, definitely can put a great fight in them. But that's going to be it for that one. That second match. I mean, we had a 3-0 at the start. Second match, game number 5. Things are just getting heated. And that match number 3, AJ, that's going to be a very, very spicy one because it's going to come down to that one. Oh, actually, no. I think it's going to come down to Aguila versus Huntsman. I think that's going to be very, very interesting because that's where it all leads down. Because whoever wins that, you're going to qualify to the playoffs. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna take a short break and we'll be right back.
I will see her again.
Away from a cluster strike. Yes, he gets it. And look at this. Just spamming it. And that's going to be a triple with the pred. Takes him out.
Luffy just tries to outplay Cisco and will be able to back castle from my lord, Luffy! Everything out here.
Yeah, the rest of this team members just doing a lot. You know, if you have your teammates popping off and like just like that, if you're hitting those shots, nasty shots, make it 3 in a row.
Now being outshined. Yes, they did quite a good job getting up to that 100-point mark. But in the second half, it's just been one name being read out again and again and again, and that is Rampage. They are going to be able to equalize in a couple of... People make a better comeback here, but they have to focus on breaking the spawn first.
Yeah, breaking that spawn first indeed now, but you know, 7 here has that SKS. We usually see an SVD here, but 5 kill streak for him. It's been working out. Make that 6. Can he make it 7? What away from a cluster strike? Yes, he gets it. And look at this, just spamming it, and that's gonna be a triple with the pred. Takes him out, and the doctor, they are struggling. He wants to go for it. Annihilator still alive. 7 is just on a tear here.
Spawn trapping all of these players and now finally making his way for that A flag, and he's just playing pure distraction all on him. My goodness, Yato. Just use your score streaks already, boy. He doesn't even need to bring any of them out because this is just such a dominating run, and Yato's just trying to get melee over all of these players. We'll be able to find yet another punch behind the back of the head, and
Holy crap.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Simon Ghost Riley, looking fancy.
This looks like an ending, but it isn't. This is just the beginning.
Roger that. Enemy is near. Close in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Call of Duty Mobile Garena Masters. My name is AJ. I'm the Mustachio down here with the one and only VVV Jericho to bring you guys day number 7 of the group stages. Today, it's all about Group C. And we have just witnessed the 2 matches by Smart Omega, and they've taken great victories. The first one at 3-0, and then the other one had to be pushed all the way down into a game number 5. Now, the decider between the one and only Huntsman as well as Aguila Esports. We do have some information on the tiebreaker though. So I don't know. I'm gonna leave this to you, Coach. How about you walk us through that one?
Well, on the break, I was asking the production if Aguila wins or loses, will they go through? And fortunately, yes, they will go through. So this match is pretty much a show match for you guys, and also bad news for the match number 4. Fury, they also forfeited as well. So, I mean, we dare say declare that Aguila and Omega, they qualify.
I say that just renders the double round robin absolutely useless. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because we have now the great chance of a comeback from Huntsmen, who have been fighting hard. And unfortunately, because of the rules, it goes by the head-to-head based on their first matchup against each other, which obviously Aguila Esports had already won. So I don't know, maybe halfway through the series, production will change its mind and we will have a different set of rules to be applied, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. In for the day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a look at the schedule and get a recap as to how the day has been coming along.
I feel like AJ, even if they do change it midway, I think it's gonna be unfair because Group A and Group B, hey, we were tied. Why don't we? It's gonna reset. But hopefully, guys, in the next couple of tournaments, we get to change that rules. But for now, we have to get through, and let's take a look at the schedule. As AJ would say, so far we did start off the day with a 3-0. Smart Omega taking it to Aguila Esports. Smart Omega versus Huntsmen. They went 3-2. Aguila versus Huntsman. That's going to be up next. And for match number 4, it's already over, guys. Smart Omega, they win against Team Fury due to forfeit. Offstream match 1. Huntsman, they take it to Fury 3-0. And Aguila, they win that as well against Fury 3-0.
Yeah, it's just a little unfortunate with the situation that Huntsmen are in right now, because as the tiebreaker rules do apply, the previous history of head-to-head matches will come into the equation, and Aguila Esports, having won them already, automatically qualifies through to the playoffs. So like Jericho said, this is a show match, and it will be the final series of the day because of Team Fury's forfeit. I mean, even if they didn't forfeit, I don't really think the score would have been any much different from what it was. Captain, Jobs, Mickey, Shadow, Yuki, as well as Zunex stepping up once again for Aguila Esports, Jericho.
Yeah, this team, they struggled in that first series, getting that 3-0. I believe it was some internet problem, but, you know, that is the reality of the situation. And so far, hopefully, they can get that fixed, you know, step up on this final match and, you know, just get that 3-0, you know, make things feel better for them.
Absolutely, man. And of course, we have got the lineup coming for you on the side of Huntsman as well. Here are the Malaysians: Alfari, Derb, Eds, Glowy, as well as the Raven. And you know, Glowy has been an amazing addition to the squad so far. He's quite the slayer out there, Jericho.
He is quite that slayer, though. I really like the addition from Glowy. He's that young blood. They are the ones really just... He is that young blood that they need. Just being very, very aggressive. You know, being the duo with Alfari. I really like that addition coming into this Huntsman.
And of course, his game face is on. But I don't know if that's the game face or the face of disappointment because of the tiebreaker rules. Because, you know, they fought back, man. They fought back pretty hard. And it looks like even through the KDs, the Huntsman might be able to do a better job out there in terms of slaying in comparison to what Mickey brings in on the side of Aguila, Jericho.
Yeah, another side from Aguila. Mickey, 1.29. Raven, 1.52. Best KD in Huntsman. Can he keep it up on this one, or will Mickey finally step it up? Because he's been having a bad day so far. You know, that first series wasn't really on point. Let's see if we can switch things around. You know, just get a little bit more of that confidence coming through in this match.
Yeah, and of course, with all of the numbers that Aguila brings through, although they do look slightly worse off in comparison to what Raven brings on in here, we have to remember Raven is the one with the best KD within the squad, right? So it's not really a perfect head-to-head comparison as to how the teams are going to be doing out there on the battlefield, but with the Huntsmen winning the coin toss, perhaps this can swing the momentum their way.
Yeah. So when the momentum their way, let's see what do they ban. Huntsman banning that first map. Should be a Hackney. Our Summit is going to be banned. No one-sided hardpoint today. Aguila, what will they ban? Probably going to be a crossfire here just to ban that search and destroy. Standoff. They don't want to play hardpoint standoff. Okay, very good pick coming through. Huntsman, what is their map number 1? I like the ban so far, AJ.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And they just need to keep this up. The last time they went on in here, they brought us into firing range, which Aguila just won without an issue whatsoever. I'm pretty sure they do not want to make that same mistake. And there you go. Hardpoint for that raid will be the pick because of that adjustment that they bring through. On the side of Aguila, on the other hand, when you talk about Hardpoint, we can drop into firing range, no issues whatsoever.
Yeah, whatsoever indeed. But now, hardpoint raid again. Remember, the last time the Huntsman played this one, they got absolutely destroyed by the side of Omega and Aguila. They want to take it to take off hardpoint. I like it from them. I like it. You know, just a little bit of another curveball coming through here.
Yeah.
And now, what do they pick for S&D map number 2? I am going to guess. Okay, firing range. I like it. I like the pick so far. Just comfort picks for all of these boys, except for that takeoff hardpoint.
And you have to remember as well, because Huntsman actually won against Aguila at the takeoff match for domination. And this was not only a curveball, but it also rips away a good map of Huntsman. So this is Aguila not only playing mind games, but they have gone in here, done their homework. They know exactly where they do not want to meet Huntsman. They know exactly what match time they don't want to meet Huntsman on takeoff. And pulling it into hardpoint just forces Huntsman now to make their gears in their brain to go on working, right? Crossfire, is it gonna be for our domination or search and destroy? That's my question.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. But so far, Hackney Yard S&D by Huntsman and Crossfire domination. Okay, very great picks coming through. I like all the maps. Definitely gonna be a close game here. But let's see the operators here ban. Let's see what's gonna be the first one. Purifier out of the picture. Aguila, are they gonna ban the Sparrow? Yes, they are. Annihilators, Equalizers, Gravity Vortex coming into play.
The biggest question here now is, will we go and will we see a map number 4? Will we see a match number 4? Because of the very unique situation of this tiebreaker, Jericho. Because now the Huntsmen have nothing to fight for. Even if they do get a victory in here, it means nothing for the playoffs, right? They still have been eliminated from the group stages already, and Aguila Esports makes it through. They could play this as a show match to prove that, hey, you know what? If given the chance, we could have still made a strong comeback. But let's see if or not that is the case.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Game number 1, hardpoint on raid. Let's see what happens here. Aguila opening things up. They do have that good side on laundry. Jarge trying to find that opening spot. Captain takes down 3 immediately. Shadow gets 1 as well. That's going to be 4 down for the Huntsmen. And they're going to get control of this one. And guys, yes, we do have a mistake on the production. It's Huntsman versus Aguila, guys, not Huntsman versus Omega.
I mean, they're playing like Smart Omega at the very least. When we opened up earlier at Hardpoint for Raid, it was a good push so far on the side of Aguila Esports. And now Alfari with the slave from the back. Is he going to be able to make a play from Laundry? All alone, no backup whatsoever from the rest of the Huntsmen. You can see their spirits are quite low in this matchup, Jericho.
Yeah, really low. I mean, you really hate to see that. You know, it's just the way of the rules, guys. You know, for all those players, all those viewers that are about to get mad at us, it's just what the rules state. We are just doing our job here, guys. Fortunately, that is what's going to happen. Far, AJ Aguila running away with this game number 1.
And I think they're going to run away with everything in this matchup because of the mental state of the Huntsman. And once again, I have to say, it is very unfortunate. Mickey with the Slay Captain jobs as well, back-to-back. It's all out, just Aguila Esports. Is there even a need to break down or shoutcast this match? Because Kitchen is just a one-sided affair. One final player putting up the fight. Raven, can he win it? The answer is no. No wins coming through with money as well. They just have to lock down the entrance from the Kitchen. And it's just Aguila Esports all the way through.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact that we have to play this match because there's no point anymore. And if you're
Yeah.
Huntsman, I would have just taken a break if I was one of the players there. But
Yeah.
you know, they're just showing up to work, and I love it. I still like that morale coming in there, even though they got nothing else to do. They're gonna get 83 and at least 20 points off this P2. But the Goliaths drop down. Dark fully streaked out. Has an Annihilator. Just gonna run around, try to kill some players there. Gets one, gets two, and now the contest might just come through. But the Goliath is there. And that's gonna be a hard time for the side of Huntsman to take it out.
Yeah, let's see exactly what the Huntsman now can go in for with the break. Solo player on for the push. Heads with the double slay on the CBR. Can we get yet another break? Spots the player's foot, but XS1 Goliath by Aguila Esports so early in this hard point. This is potentially a GGWP right here. No Bread Missile can reach the guy as well. Let's see exactly what the answer is from the Huntsman in terms of this XS1 Jericho.
Let's see what happens here. Captain, though, brings out the Annihilator. Gonna stop all the push from Aguila. And at this point, you know, you see Huntsman getting trashed here. It's just, you know, it's a different kind of momentum, guys. You know, if you know that you're not gonna qualify, you're not gonna give your 100% anymore. You know, you're just here just to finish it already. So I feel like, you know, you don't have to badmouth players a bunch because they really tried their best. This is the way of the tournament. You know, you win some, you lose some, but unfortunately, this was such a huge prize pool to lose, and I think that's what Huntsman, you know, they really tried their best.
I'm feeling for the Huntsmen so badly right now because I feel like the rules of the competition should have been adjusted for a double round robin. The rules of the previous competition should have not carried forward to this double round robin setup. It just is very, very unfortunate. And no, Jericho, it wouldn't have been the same for Group A and Group B because there were nobody on that equal points for the second and third spot. So it was a direct qualifier. It was only Huntsman that has gotten into this unfortunate situation where they do, you know, manage to equalize against the Aguila Esports. And yes, you may say, oh, you know, it doesn't matter, you still gotta go out there and fight. No, it doesn't mean you gotta go out there and fight because the intention for the group stages is to qualify for the playoffs. And it's no wonder that they're playing with their spirits down. But look at the fight finally coming through for the side of the Huntsmen. Is it gonna be enough though? Because 148 to 35, you just need one break from Aguila Esports. It is a hands down victory already.
Yeah, one break is all they need. 2 more points. You know, Huntsman, they did get that final hill there. Let's see if they can manage to control it. You know, Aguila, they threw all their score streaks in that P4. Might not be able to help them in the P5. Derp, he gets 3 in a row. 2 more players inside that hill. Trying to make a play for himself. He's going to get taken out. This might be it. The threat comes in. Actually, Huntsman, they managed to break that hill. They get that final hill. For how long can they hold it? Maybe a player down there as well. Huntsman, they have control so far. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, Aguila Esports holding back in terms of all of those fights now as they jump on in because you know they should have been able to break the previous hill already, but it's just very loose gunfights coming through from all of their players. Huntsman, on the other hand, with the fight of their lives because all of a sudden they've woken up. They are looking into the comment section and they are being begged to step up in their performance. But the question now is it a little bit too late to show us this strong side? Shadow, 1 break is all they need. 2 men now going in for the jump with that extra man on that sentry setup. It looks like the Huntsman will be able to run away with all of the points out of Central Garden as well. And the Malaysians out of nowhere staying alive. Glowy stepping on back onto the hill, not allowing Aguila Esports to run away with this. But at the next hard point, it is going to be way more difficult to control, Jericho.
Yeah, but they actually managed to drop the Fred. There's a big gunfight here by Derp. He takes him out. Actually, still a winnable side for the side of Huntsman. Derp gets one with an Annihilator. That's very, very huge. And here comes Aguila. They're going to push through now. 3-man push. Can they do the impossible? Last player alive. Doesn't matter. 150 to 104. Valiant effort by them. They kept it close towards the end. But now, 1-0. Aguila, they take it. They bring it home.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It is sad. I mean, look at Huntsman. They have the quality. They can take the fight up if they want to. And that was just them showing towards the very end that, look, we can play if we want to, right? The point here is there a reason to go in there and play? And unfortunately, there isn't. 104 to 150. Aguila is a better squad from the start. There is no argument there whatsoever, because in the first half of this double round robin, it was Aguila Esports that got the victory. But the whole reasoning of this double round robin setup is to see how's the adjustments out of the squads. How are they able to make those changes in terms of map picks? How are they able to adjust out there on the gunfights as each and every single one of these hills get captured? And it seems like the Huntsmen are doing everything right. It's just that luck is against them.
Yeah, luck is just against them. It's one of the hardest times to actually cast this.
Yeah.
They're my former teammate before. I just really hate to see it. But man, we got a job to do. Map number 1, 150-104. Dominating performance by the sides of Aguila. But Huntsman, if they almost made a comeback there. I feel like if they could just contested that P3 and P4, I think things would just be different there. But now we have to move over to firing range S&D, where in Aguila, they've been playing firing range S&D a lot. They've been shining through it. I feel like it just might be that same story.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And when you look at the side of Aguila Esports, they have got all the reason to go in here, guns blazing round after round after round, and take the fight up to Huntsman, even though they are not in the best of moods for it. Because you want to finish off strong before you move on into the playoffs. You want to get as much, of this practice in these scrims as possible as you set up to face the best of the best other 7 squads within the playoffs at this competition, right? Because at the Masters for Call of Duty Mobile Garena, things are not going to get easier. They're most definitely going to get way more tougher from this point in. So the question here is, we saw Huntsman kind of make a small little comeback. Is that proof that they are going to now step it up in this S&D? They need to if they want to make their fans smile a little.
Yeah, they have to do something at least just to, put a smile on their faces. But S&D firing range, we've seen Yuki hit those shots through the wall. Might be another story for that one. But I mean, I'm just like shocked. I'm still shocked, AJ. Like, if I was like one of the adders, I would just like, let's just change the head to head. But it is what it is.
It is what it is, my friend. It is what it is. Huntsman, Aguila Esports. Let's see what the Malaysians can pull off in here. We are dropping into firing range for this S&D. Derp, is he gonna find those quick scopes? Because against Smart Omega at this S&D firing range, he really was finding those angles, but he was just a little too slow clicking that shoot button.
Yeah, it was a little bit too slow there. Yuki spots another one. Spots 2 players actually. And Huntsman now pushing through the firing range here over at the trailer. But Derp takes down Shadow. That's gonna be the first blood. 4 now. Captain takes down Eds. Equalizes things so far. Bomb is down actually on that A side. A very, very bad spot. Captain, he's not going to scope out from that one, but he's going to spawn. Jarps misses that. Okay, he finally took him a while. Then Captain trades him out 3 versus 3.
That's something you don't want to see. That's not a highlight reel. It's a blooper reel. Captain, if only he had held on to that angle a little longer. Great grenade coming through. One player inside of the white warehouse in the name. Oh, goes in for the melee, doesn't find it. Alfari, Glowy, they get their wins. Mickey, solo player left on in here. Can he pull the win off? The answer is no. A good round for the Huntsman.
Good round indeed for them. That's going to be 0-1. And so far, I like that play. That very aggressive play towards trailer. They let Derp get the things. He got 2 kills in that round. And now let's see if it's going to be the same play. But this time, with a slower play. Letting Derp again, trying to find a snipe. To the side of Aguila, what can they do? Glowy, oh my god, he just got slid out. Set to the next round. Huge kill for the side of Aguila. 5 versus 4. That's going to stop the push.
It's good to see the Huntsman still alive and kicking. Fighting for this victory. Raven and Derp. Both winning their gunfights. 4v3 now. The numbers on the side of the Huntsman. Can Raven find one more? The CBR is not going to be able to cut it with that hit glitch right in front. Being played by Mickey. Oh, Raven, what a shot! Still manages to bag him. Jobs manages to find Edge with the thumper. Number still advantage on the side of Huntsman. Derp, CBR in hand. Is he going to find yet another? Mickey will not get lucky as Jobs gets bagged out by Alfari. It's a 3v1 now. Shadow, it's all in his hands. He thins down the numbers, but it's still not on his side just yet. But the bomb on the ground, it's a good player to take down.
Yeah, that is a great player to take down. And now Shadow, all he has to do is play near that bomb. Because Huntsman, they have to pick that up. That's very unfortunate. You leave your bomb carrier last alive over there. But Shadow decides not to play that bomb, but he might just pick one player. Yes, he did. Makes it 1v1. Now it's all up to Derp, I believe, in a 1v1. Here we go. Bomb. He does give that sound cue. They're trying to just bait him out. But Shadow, he's gonna stick that plan, and Shadow's gonna wrap around all the way to A with him knowing it. He's gonna turn around. Now you expect that was just so funny. Like you're running away from the bomb, like whoops, you turn.
Unfortunate, right? You didn't hear the sound cue, but now repositions. Derp. Was that an open plant from Derp? Yes, it was.
Beautiful.
So he's got great view here. It should be around for the Huntsman. Derp with the ideation. It's all about timing now. If he gets spotted out.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you could. Oh, no way. No way. No way. No way. No. No.
Oh, timing.
No. I almost thought, AJ. Almost. Look at Raven. giggling.
and this is what we want out of the Huntsman, right? I mean, this is why we love them, man. And I love to see this within the team. I just want them to step it up a little bit more. They most definitely have what it takes to be that #1 brand for Malaysia again. It's unfortunate that, you know, the rules are against them this time round. Yuki shuts Glowy down. Numbers on the side of Aguila Esports. Jabs, look at the angle he's holding on to. Won't be able to punish anyone that exits out of this barracks. And Alfari is the name.
Or there's a trick here called MOBA. I don't know if it works. If you just spray him on a wall, you can actually get some aim assist on that one. I don't know if it's doable here, but that's such a cheesy trick there if that can work. But so far, 5 versus 4, AJ. And we do see Huntsman moving in, and Derp says hello to the next round. Mickey in a different angle now finally shuts down one, shuts down two. Can he shut down the third one? Doesn't matter. Alfari is there, but there is... Oh, Alfari! He's still alive. How do you win that gunfight? 1 versus 3 now, Alfari. Can he clutch it up? Finds a third player, but... Oh! He wins that gunfight! Alfari for the ace. He needs 2 more. He does have the bomb.
Yeah. Can play the same tricks as earlier, but it's a 1v2 in the situation. Look at that, Mickey. Ooh, spotting him out. Hit marker on him. Thumper's not going to find Mickey just yet. Mickey on the second floor. And Alfari! So close for the shutdown. As Mickey backs away on top of the stairs now. It's a 2v1. Alfari's wasting a lot of time. Mickey will not get slain. What a slide. And Jobs shuts him down. It's a little unfortunate for the Huntsman, but it was a good try.
Yeah, it was a good try indeed. It was a great showing there for Huntsman and Aguila. They kind of held their breath there for a while, but thankfully Jarps closes it out. Captain with a sniper gonna spot 3 players. That's gonna be a call out for them. Now Jarps, Captain gonna reposition himself. He's gonna get fun. Smokes are gonna come through. Here comes Huntsman. They're gonna rush through this one.
Good smoke. Huntsman is blocking out the view of players of Aguila Esports. Just gives them the momentum to head on in towards that bomb site. Derp, it's all about that angle, but Jobs manages to slay. Eds gets taken down as well. Shadow with the backstab. Alfari 3v2. Numbers on the side of Aguila. Glowy Thumper does not hit. And Yuki from afar takes him out of the white warehouse. And Captain, what a snipe. And there's Aguila Esports on the equalizer.
Yeah, they get it. That's a 2-2. And finally, Aguila, they're finally back in their groove. So far, they need to get this round just to get that 3-2 advantage on that switch of sides.
Again, no crosses this time. Information needs to be played back. The question is it a B rush? Or is it gonna be a slow and steady approach? Captain finds Alfari. No idea how he did that.
Beautiful shot.
5v4.
That was such a beautiful shot. I think he shot him through the wall. But so far, what is this spot? I mean, how do you even... Wow. Call them players, man. They're built different. I don't even know that spot. But so far, 5 versus 4. Man down for the side of Huntsman, AJ. And they need to find something here. No information. Look how Aguila played that. They all spotted a player. They took him out, and then they all hid from that. It's just great S&D play coming in from them.
Captain as well as Derp going up against each other. Just one man down. Doesn't mean much for the Huntsman. Oh, what a good slide. Glowy punishes Captain, gets another player right in front of him. Back up by Eds as well. What a good play by the Huntsman. Repositions himself as he takes this plant. The wall bang from Jobs. Not going to find anyone just yet. No hit mark as well, so no information on his side. Tries to get that info. Sees if or not anyone is inside of the white warehouse. Answer is no. Yuki trying to find a foot. Will not be able to find the wall bangs through those stairs. Positions himself and punished by Glowy. What a good play. And it's a 2v1 now as Jobs finds Derps. Jobs gonna get taken down by Glowy. And this is just a 1v1 on the setup.
Yeah, 1v1 on the setup. Mickey with the M13. Glowy with that sniper as well. Can he pick that shot? Decides to switch over. Doesn't have to peek, just have to play time. Here we go. The thumper. Actually not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And Glowy! The fuse comes in 3-2.
You hate to see that, man. No. GG Glowy. GG Glowy. That's unfortunate, right? Huntsman, decision making. He should have just stepped up, used his assault rifle instead. Depends on the thumper. Gets the hit mark, but also gets the bomb defused.
I think it's just for style points on this one. I mean, yeah, you could go for that. I would go for that one, but now he does get one on Raven. 5 versus 4 AJ. Glowy trying to redeem himself with a DLQ. You don't see him with a DLQ. And at this point, they're just putting on the show.
Derp managing to find Captain. Alfari shuts down Mickey as well. 4v3 now. And White Warehouse should be able to play this well against Mickey. Does not step out just yet. Derp on the other hand. Very slow approach. On for the wraparound on White Warehouse. Either side, he will be present. What a snipe by Derp. Finds a second one on Shadow as well. Third one, Jobs bags him out. But it's a 3v1. All on the side of Huntsman. Jobs, CBR, waiting to be pushed, but nobody will come looking.
Drop spots one on the left. He's going to miss that shot. A minute left. He has a lot of timing, but he's going to get pinched by both sides. He has to find something. He spots one, but Eds is there for the trade, and Glowy takes him out. 3-3. Huntsman back to tying the series. I mean, this is the match. I mean, 3-3. But so far, Jarps 9-5, AJ.
3-3 now. And Aguila Esports still trying to close things off against the Huntsmen, who are being cheeky throughout this whole match. Whole series, as a matter of fact. Nobody found just yet. Jobs on the other hand. CBR getting too aggressive. Second floor of Barrett, you definitely don't want to be messing around with it, especially when Derp finds his sticky on the Captain. What in the world? 4v4. A good trade out by Jobs. Head's taken out. Derp now. Angle. It's all about the timing. Nobody steps out. That's unfortunate. He has to reposition himself.
He has to reposition himself so far. 4 versus 4. Mickey trying to find somebody. He does spot one player, but there's going to be backup from the side of Glowy. They're going to push through this one. I like this push from Aguila. Going to be a player near Alfari. He's going to get tagged up. They don't know he's in the corner, but Alfari, he gets 3 down. Alfari with a triple kill. He's going for the 4th player. He's going to get sniped. No jump. Still alive. Trying to make a play as well. He gets taken out by Alfari. 4 kills in a row. Huntsmen take the lead.
Oh, this is a great play from the Malaysian side. Can Alfari continue to hit as hard as this on the defense? Huntsman as effective as the offense. Jobs with the 11 kills in here so far, but Alfari, I mean, catching up, man. 10-4. He's doing amazing in this game.
Yeah, he's just doing really amazing, but his teammates need to step it up here. And Derp, he's gonna get taken out by Mickey with a holder. What is that glass, AJ?
It's unfortunate. Glowy finds Yuki. It's a good trade back out. Captain, it's all about timing here. The player stands up in the row, but a double challenge. Raven had a little bit of backup, and now Thumper is going to find one. Jobs good with the hit mark, and the timing out of Jobs will be able to find him that victory. He gets the first one. Jobs with the response. He makes his friend his shield, but Glowy punishes him. And it's a good round for the Huntsman to hit match point.
Yeah, good side for Huntsman to get match point. But so far, they get it 3-5 now. And Aguila, something's off in this S&D firing range, AJ.
It's just the Huntsmen who are a little bit sharper, a little bit better. Wanting to make a name for themselves, even if, regardless of whatever that happens after the series, right? As long as they can get a win to prove that, regardless of anything else, they did manage to respond well. to the side of Aguila Esports. Made it look one-sided the first time round. Glowy missing that, but Eds does not. Yuki taken down. Glowy, it's all about timing, but Jobs bags him instead with that.
That Jobs bags him, and he's gonna spot one. Spots the second player as
Nice.
well. 2 versus 4. Captain and Mickey, what can they do here? Alfari, he's gonna spot one. Mickey gets taken out. Last player alive, it's gonna be Captain. Can he clutch it? He's gonna get taken out. And Huntsman, they take it 1-1. AJ, I have a question for you.
Tell me, sir.
You think even if Ranger was here, do you think Huntsman would qualify or not?
No. I think the current Huntsman is a little bit stronger.
Okay.
I think the current Huntsman is a little bit more steady on their approach. And they seem a little bit more calm with their approach. You know, there's no more chaos within those minds. You see, you see the confidence in their plays as well out there on the battlefield. So I don't think Ranger would have made a difference on this stage. I think the boys are doing amazing for themselves. It's just some of those decisions that they learned from in the first half of this round robin, really in application in the second. It's just that luck is just not on their side. Alfari, look at that, man. 11 kills. One plant on top of everything else as well. The guy did so much out there.
Yeah, I mean, consistency is just their number one problem for me, AJ. And I have a follow-up for you. Do you think it's time for them to break up the team?
No. I think they're doing great. I think they need to stick together and keep at this in a more solid form. Because if you talk about the departure of the captain, right, you expect them to do so much worse than this. But that's not the case. In fact, they look as sharp as ever. They just need to continue on their form and be confident with their approach towards this competition. And I'm very sure we'll see Huntsman once again, the supreme brand of Malaysia.
Okay. I definitely agree with that one. I feel like they should stick, make one more run. I feel like maybe one last try. Then that's when you start to think, okay, I think we need to start switching it up. But, looking at the leaderboard, like you said, AJ, Alfari, 11. If you can just keep on doing this in the respawn, I think things would just be different because on S&D, Huntsman, they're on point right now. And for the side of Aguila, something's off in that fire range S&D, AJ.
Oh, yeah. It just doesn't seem like they want to hit as hard as they usually do. Yuki picking up 2 kills, Shadow on 3. It doesn't seem like the usual Aguila Esports, right? But against a side of Huntsman who was so hungry to pick up this victory, it was a good comeback. In crossfire domination, we will see exactly who is more committed to this victory, Jericho.
Yeah, I was more committed in this victory indeed. But it's the same story like that first series, AJ. They got that victory in that S&D. Aguila, they win game 1. They went to win game 3 and 4. But now it's going to be Huntsman's pick on crossfire. That might just change things here, AJ.
Yeah.
And it just might be another Huntsman victory unless Aguila, they could just ride off that hot streak coming in from Jarps. If they can keep on going. If someone pops off, then those are when things change, AJ.
Yeah, we saw the effort coming through from the side of Huntsman way too late, right? It was such a one-sided matchup in that Hardpoint initially until P3 and P4 came to fruition. And then we saw the Malaysians really start to hit back. Sorry, it was P4 and 5. But, we can't really have those soft approaches coming through from the Malaysians anymore in this domination matchup because it's all about who plays that flag early.
That's
and
true.
If anything, it has to be whatever they learned in that takeoff match against the side of Smart Omega. You have to be making for those push of those flags together as one squad. You cannot underestimate your opponents at all in this situation, Jericho.
Yeah, you can't really underestimate. And now, is that a shorty? Okay.
SPD and Shorty, sir.
All right.
SPD and
I mean,
Shorty.
long range, you're good. Short range, you're even better. But now, Huntsman, you're going to try to take it immediately. But we do see the side of Aguila. They take control of that P1 building, AJ. And so far, they're going to take down 4 in a row. That's a B cap already.
Yeah, and the position that the SPD player should have been holding on to is just behind of a Laundry because you should be able to hold on to that B flag quite confidently from there. And the rate of fire, 1 shot, 1 kill with the SPD, it's going to bag you a lot. But he chooses to hold the middle lane instead, which is not a bad idea, just not the most perfect one.
Yeah, it's not the perfect one indeed. But now we do see the side of Aguila just going all the way through the sea. No distraction whatsoever on the side of Huntsman. They're just gonna spawn at bus station and the triple cap is on. now the Predator Missile comes in. That's going to be a 1 kill at least, but he's going to spot 2 more. That's going to be information for them. And now Huntsman struggling to find a flag.
Really, it's a triple gap. Huntsman now once again struggling, and then A flag pulled right back. But that was their spawn, so it would be quite disappointing if they didn't pull that back. The question is, how's the approach now for the B flag? Overextension for C, but nobody's checking backyard. Backup not there as well. The same mistake, Jericho. They need backup. I mean, if you want to play the distraction, if you want to play the overextension, you need the numbers as well.
They really need the numbers as well. 42-18. They finally get that A flag, but here comes the push. 3 players coming through. Derp, he's going to win that gunfight against Captain, and this just might be the break. Derp trying to make that play as well, but Jarp shuts him down 46-20. And I'm just liking what I'm seeing from Aguila. Now, they put in so much pressure, AJ, that they actually got that triple cap. And now all they have to do is work on those score streaks, AJ. But as soon as you say that, Huntsman, they break through the B, but now can they hold it off?
Yeah, look at this overextension coming through from an A flag as well. And Jobs winning that final gunfight should be able to do this. And there's not going to be a trade of flags on the other end. There needs to be a prevention coming through. Eds needs to win his gunfight. And a smoke and backup. That's how you capture the flag on the overextension. You need the backup.
You need the backup indeed. And Mickey already fully streaked out as well with the cluster strike. Going to be very, very helpful for that second half. But so far, second cap coming in from Aguila finally stops the bleeding. Huntsman, they get the last 2 flags. And here comes Captain pushing through. He's going to get taken down as well. And if you are Huntsman, you just got to hold this down. You know, don't even go for that triple anymore. Just let it go to a 75, but at least you're going to make it really, really close.
See those streaks coming out for the play as well, but it should be in the second half where it all comes down for the perfect slay. 17-46. Aguila just taking on slowly. They don't really need to overextend here, Jericho, but they most definitely go ahead to try for that either way. They want that B flag and they want to continue fighting on for it. Mickey's still trying to fully streak himself out. He already used that bread earlier on, but the gravity vortex on for the play. XS1 as well as cluster. You know it will deliver in that second half.
Will deliver it, especially when they get that triple cap. If they do get it, I think that's when they are going to bring it out. But so far, Huntsman 56-70. They managed to keep it a little bit close now. Let's see if they can keep on going. Here comes the push. It's going to be the battle for that P1 building again, AJ. But look at that Aguila, the Aguila front. They're going to be having 4 players to go in. Jarb brings out that Annihilator. Captain goes down, but there's going to be the flank. Shadow Zunic gets 3, and that's going to be another clean break by Aguila.
Flag now on for the takeover. 2 players for the prevention. Can they do it? Shadow pulls out the thumper, and unfortunately for the Malaysian, Zunex wins his gunfight as well. BNC flag in the hands of the Filipinos now. Huntsman really need to overextend, get into its Butchers. Drop one by the C flag. Nobody standing on there at the moment. Mickey is holding on to Butchers, and if they can settle that, they should be able to overcome their forces, but they still want to play hardball. They still want to gap that B flag, and by the time they can win the gunfights over, the numbers will overflow, and Aguila Esports will be able to play defense. They need to find that overextension, Jericho. They don't have much of a choice.
Yeah, they need to go for that distraction gameplay, AJ. They got to go through that A bomb side, AJ, and just, I mean, for that C flag, AJ, they need to hop on it. And now that's what we do see from Huntsman, 100-71. You see 2 players capping it, but Aguila, they're fighting for that B flag, but they're focusing as well on that A flag. Now they have a choice. Where are we going to drop that cluster? Are we going to push over to A, or are we going to push over to C? They need to find some kills first before they start pushing.
Yeah, look at Zunex now. Beautiful on the kills. Captain takes Alfari out of the equation, and the C flag will come right back into the hands of Aguila Esports. And Huntsman can't do much about that as they spawn out of lounge, just a little too far away from either objective. B or C flag not just going to be able to get into their hands just yet. But a good fight by Derp, unfortunately, gets shut down at the very end. No B flag just yet.
Yeah, no B flag just yet, but now we do see Zunex here capping on B, and I feel like the cluster might just come out anytime now, AJ, just to delay that enemy, because they're not fighting for the flag. All they have to do is defend this 2 flag, and I feel like that's when it's going to come out. Mickey just waiting for the call for those teammates. 121-90. This is looking like a GG. Once it hits that 130, game over.
35-91 now. Huntsman, can they find anything in here? Ooh, look at this. Triple
Here we
cap
go.
attempt, but
Here we go.
Cluster.
There you go.
Cluster out of nowhere. Is he going to stand on there?
Oh,
Is he going to hold
oh,
on to it? Yes,
what
he does!
the hell?
What a clutch!
That's unheard of, AJ. But now B's gonna be captured, but Chloe taking them down with the equalizer. And that's all they need. The 2-cap still winnable here, but finally Aguila, they stop the bleeding. Stop it there. But now they have that Goliath. They're gonna push through the I'm sorry, I had to point it out, AJ. I had to point it out.
I guess he didn't know, bro. I guess he didn't know. Big people problems sometimes. B-flag now on for the capture. Huntsman, can they prevent this? No, they lose it at the very final moment. But Nerf now, this can be a double cap. 2 players going in for the push at the same time. But Jobs, with the biggest win of his life, manages to play defense all on his own. Pulls out the Annihilator as well. Can the Huntsman now make a comeback? 140 to 115. They need a triple cap once again, but they don't have any of those score streaks to play to their advantage.
They got nothing else, but that's GAJ, that 2-cap. That's gonna be it. 146 to 118. Aguila, they win game number 3 and now 1 away from eliminating the Huntsman.
Oh, that was a good fight. That was a solid fight, which came down to a tremendous avoidance of that cluster strike. You know, because here's what it is, right? The cluster will come raining down on your head, but it takes a few seconds. And it takes a really smart player to understand that running away from the cluster isn't going to do you much. It's a respawn match. What's the worst case scenario? You die and then you respawn somewhere else, right? So he sticks to it and he still manages to get the C flag before the cluster does drop on his head. But it's the response on the B flag for the defense that just weren't as solid. If they were able to hold on to those 2 flags at the very least, you know, there would have been a stronger chance of a comeback here. But I have to focus on Eds. Twice in a row now. He's the lowest fragger, doing the least for the team. You cannot have that. Eds is one of the best players on the side of Huntsman. And when you've got one of your best struggling in terms of performance, your team is going to struggle out there as well, Jericho.
Yeah, your stream's going to definitely struggle out there, AJ. And if you're just going to drop 7 to 19 and respawn, that's not going to be it, Chief. You're really going to lose all those games. But to your point about that cluster strike, AJ, I feel like it was on C, but there's like that small building in that car that could take that damage. I feel like it saved his life there. But
no, just, he grabbed the flag. You can't grab the flag from that hut, can you?
I don't think you can, but by the grace of God, he did. And then also that Goliath. I'm sorry, I'm losing my breath. I'm just laughing about the fact, hey, I got a Goliath. Let's go. Oh, wait, I can't fit here.
Yeah, there was a meme recently on the Garena Call of Duty mobile group as well. So it's just how big stuff just do not fit in, you know, small openings like that, which you really need to find out the hard way. And thankfully for the side of Aguila, they didn't really have to pay such a hard price for that blunder. The XS1 Goliath was still able to find its way around, play some defense on the B flag. 150 to 120. The Filipinos, they settled this. Question is, can Takeoff now, one of the better maps on the side of Huntsman, be where they make a comeback?
Well, we're going to find out, but this is a map pick for Aguila. They feel very confident in this map coming into this one. So hopefully things might just change here. Takeoff Hardpoint. Very, very a curveball, in my opinion, here for the side of Aguila. Don't really see them play that much. You know, we did see them play domination against Huntsman, which they lost that, but by narrowly. I think it was like 3 or 4 points. It was really, really close. So small mistakes here. But this time, Hardpoint, very different. Got to get to those first positions. Definitely expect the equalizer. Like, dude, can someone just use the equalizer and take off? Please stop using the Annihilator.
Yeah, the Annihilator might be able to give you some good shots.
One shot, one kill.
You have to maintain your distance. You have to get onto some of these power positions, which is most of the time on the second floor. And those are the best places to use the Annihilator, man. I mean, you're not in direct line of fire. You just have to play your positioning well. You just have to make sure you're not overexposing yourself. But when you take these, face-to-face combat situations at Takeoff, yeah, the Annihilator just doesn't cut it, right? You're much better off, especially when it comes to breaking the 3rd hill or the 4th hill. Bringing in the equalizer, like you said, Jericho, gives you the boost of speed. It allows you that mobility around just to go around slaying all of your opponents. And that's exactly what Huntsman needs, that bit of slaying power.
Yeah, that's what they need indeed. But here we go. Game number 4, AJ, and so far Aguila starting things off with 4 points at the moment, but Derp and the boys getting some kills at the outside, and they are finally going to hop on that hill to get some points as well, but the contest is in. Captain trying to find a way, but here's the power possession from the side of Huntsman, just very, very good. It was holding down all those angles, but they killed him off that hill, and now it's going to be a battle for that P2. Now at this point, you should be rotating now, getting control of that scaffolding, but you know, Aguila, they want to take as much points as they can here, just trapping the side of Huntsman in the Aurora Lounge.
Yeah, you look at what Miki's doing. Miki's just making sure the rest of the players on the side of Aguila, they have got the better spawns, especially when it comes to playing for P2, right? You want to be able to manage that. You want to be able to control that very early on at P1 in itself so that it doesn't become a chore later on. And Miki's going to be holding down that angle at Cranes to make sure nobody takes over the spawn. Huntsman, on the other hand, going to take a straightforward fight, just leading all of their forces in towards launch center. And yes, they do shut down Miki as well. It is Raven that gets that big kill. Can he secure the spot? That will be the biggest game changer for this Hardpoint.
Yeah, biggest game changer indeed. But here comes Chloe. He's going to take down 3 as well. And now Huntsman, they get that time. But so far, they still have the control. And Mickey, he gets taken out again. But the RNG guards, they're going to be spawning over at P3 and 4. And now Huntsman, they can have this pinch here. But Aguila, they still have control here. Here comes Zunik. They're both going to get taken out. And Huntsman getting that final time here, 25 seconds. Rotation is key here. Let's see if Aguila, they're going to force this P2. Yes, one player will force it. But P3, they're going to be set up in that new one.
Yeah, it's just really risky, man. The players of Huntsman not really focusing on holding down the spawns, and that might just play against them. But this time, as they go in for the P3 setup, they focus on the spawns first before focusing on the hard point, and it is from the approach of control room. You want to be able to clear out generators first, and that's exactly what you see these two players, Eds as well as his backup, the one and only Raven, getting done. But both of them unfortunately get sacrificed and spawn out of the opposite area at gas tanks, but it will still give them that easy access in towards this hard point. The problem is the accessibility is a little too far away.
Yeah, a little bit too far away indeed. So far, this is why you give up that P2 to get this time in P3. I like it from Aguila, but here comes the push from Raven. They're going to push through. Dirt gets one with a thumper, but the Fred stops too. But it doesn't matter. They still have 2 more players, and here comes Dirt with the Annihilator. Perfect usage of it. You know, when you get that delay from the enemies, if you see them coming in, this is where you use that Annihilator.
Yeah, I love the way Huntsmen have gone in here for the break now, but unfortunately they lose the hill in those final moments. They still need to make one final attempt and at the very least clear out the spawns, because like you can see, Aguila Esports already in there for the early rotation in towards the next hard point, and it will be quite difficult for them to break if they don't start making anything in here. Yes, they do get a few scrap points, but the spawn's still on the side of Aguila Esports. They now need to win all of their gunfights, but they do the exact opposite, because Shadow pulls out the Annihilator above everything else, and it gets a little tougher to approach the situation.
They have to do something here, and now we see 64 to 68 again. Early rotation by Aguila, but Huntsman, they're just breaking it through back and forth. This is the Huntsman that we know. Alfari brings out the death machine, unfortunately gets shut down by Shadow. And now they take the lead, but it's still a very, very close game. Shadow trying to make a play as well, but here comes the Annihilator from Raven. Raven trying to make the play here as well. 74 to 76. Everything is going well for the side of Aguila so far. Double operators coming through, and Aguila, what can they find?
Yeah, Huntsman. It's gonna be their moment as they hold on to this hard point. A good grenade coming through as Raven backs away. Trying to spot his back as well. No backstep's gonna be possible as the Malaysians now try to close this game off. Zunex with the entrance right after waiting for that backup, but then it's gonna be absolutely useless. Jobs manages to get a double, but Raven will be there for the trade alongside Glowy. 100 to 74, and the next hard point for the activation. And the players of Aguila Esports, they have got scaffolding the power position, but look at Aurora launch. It is held on by the one and only Edge, and he's doing so much this time around for this match, Jericho.
They need to. They're running away with this match in this P1, and now Aguila scrambling to find something, but finally they hop on it. Glowy will get 1 kill, 2 kills with that Dragon Fire. That is a new world record. We only seen 1 in 1 match, but Glowy finally making something out of that useless Dragon Fire.
not useless in the hands of Glowy. As now they've got that information, they step on fourth, but the scaffolding hold by Aguila Esports is going to be quite annoying. But look at this early approach by Huntsman. They take the spawn. They take the spawn on P2. They won't be able to play the scaffolding now, but they need to make sure they do not lose the spawns out of range, even if they do lose the hardpoint and fountain, because it's all about the gameplay of P2 that is going to be more important here. Final 12 seconds in here for the hardpoint challenge does come through, and it is the fight, but unfortunately they won't be able to take down Alfari. Nobody else will be there for the response. P2 on for activation in a couple of seconds. Spawns has been given up, bro. Someone needs to go back there.
Yeah, someone has to go back there indeed, but Aguila, they need to scramble for the points. That's a decision you have to make. You know, you just have to go in here, win your gunfights. But so far, Huntsman, they're taking it to them. They want to force that game number 5, but here comes the break. Zunix trying to make his way here, but he's gonna get taken out. And Huntsman, slowly but surely, on the way to that game number 5. Derp takes one down, but it doesn't matter. Derp, he's gonna eat a thumper. A nuke come through, and Shadow brings out the KRM, has to use it now. And here comes Shadow, gets 3 in a row, gets 4, unfortunately will get a hit marker. And the gravity vortex, we do hear it as well, but here comes the player of Aguila, just keeps on the testing. They need all this time, and Huntsman, they can rotate, but they're gonna force this.
Ah, look at Shadow with the backstab. And you know, talking about spawns, Jericho, look at where Aguila Esports is spawning out of, right? And this is what Huntsman needed to focus on. I do agree with you. You need to prioritize, you know, exactly what you want to be aiming for, Matt. But if only they had focused on having just that one player sit down at cranes, they would have just been able to continuously throw their numbers in. But a good decision-making, sound one coming through from Huntsman, early rotation in, but they rotate directly into the next hard point instead of taking over the spots. What is up with them? I'm absolutely flabbergasted by the approach.
I am too, but so far it's been working, but now they lose the hill. Glowy gonna try to push in as well, but here comes the clean break by Huntsman. But it's gonna be one more player. Shadow misses those shots, and a beautiful shot. Oh my God! Make it 4! Make it 4, Raven! Try to make the play, so make it 4! Can he make it 5? Doesn't matter, the hill has been breaking. And now one way left, the cluster shot comes in actually, and this just might end the game for the side of Aguila. They can end it right here. Goliath comes through as well, and here we go. The score streaks making its name here, and this is what they need. 5 more points by Huntsman. 1 good break's all they need, but the Goliath is in as well. Can they do anything? Mickey spraying down. Give me a player. He's gonna get taken out. 5 more points. Aguila, they are gonna win this game. No one's gonna be near. Perfect hold, perfect usage of the Goliath, perfect use of everything. They're moving on to the playoffs.
It's so disappointing from the Huntsman side, because dude, every time they had those gunfights, they had the game. And if only they had the spawns. You see them failing to capture the spawns for P2. You see them failing to capture the spawns at P3. Complete disregard of the way the map is played. And they just throw... I understand that they wanted to throw a curveball. You sometimes want to deliver the exact unexpected to your opponents, but it just wasn't the case in this situation. And they were just forcing themselves to fall back all the way through. Aguila Esports and Smart Omega, they advance to the playoffs. Unfortunately, Huntsman and Team Fury, they do not.
Yeah, I mean, that's just very unfortunate. They showed up a great fight. I mean, look at the numbers from both teams. Derp 25, Raven 22, Glowy 24, Alfari 20, Eds with 13. Again and again, AJ, that's been the story. Eds just not really showing up here. And for the side of Aguila, 25, 25, 27, 24, 17. Great numbers across everything. It came down to those final streaks of Mickey, the cluster, and the Goliath AJ just making its rounds.
Again, Ed's fragging at the very bottom. What is going on here, man? I mean, he is one of their assets. He is one of their best players. And when you've got your best, struggling at the very bottom consistently, there's an issue here that they need to sort out internally as a squad before they can step up and challenge any one of these other teams. Aguila Esports, on the other hand, they played it together as one unit throughout that whole matchup, even with the use of the score streaks, like you said, Jericho. It was just a play of perfection, right? Timing was perfect, the angles were perfect, the positions that they were holding on to was perfect. Whenever we did see the operators on for the pop on the side of Huntsman, they were getting those kills. Raven most definitely put on a great show, but there was just no sustainability out there on the battlefield because there was no backup. Why was there no backup? Because they were spawning from so far away from each and every single one of those hard points.
They were just spawning out of it, and just they struggled there. I mean, for the side of Huntsman, a sloppy ending to that one. They reached 135, but they kept on letting Shadow just roam around with that KRM, getting those backstabs, AJ. And in the end, we didn't even see that Mickey had full streaks. But when it came out at the perfect timing. Great usage of it. They take it 3-1.
Let's look at the results here. 104 to 150. Aguila Esports initially lost this, but pretty much maintaining the same performance, same story of giving one away to the Huntsmen and then smashing them right back, right? 150 to 120, 150 to 145. It was close at takeoff, but just not close enough. It was ultimately disappointing to me because it was such a winnable match for the side of Huntsmen, which they just gave away.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely closer from their first series, AJ. And it's just great to see from the Huntsmen. But then again, win or lose, Aguila, they still qualified. But if you did miss what happened, it was a 3-1. We're going to show you the highlights here in that raid hardpoint. Absolute domination at the start of the game, AJ.
Oh, yeah.
P1 to P4, but P5, all of a sudden, the boys of Huntsman just flipped the switch.
Yeah, I mean, up to P3 here at Garage, it was most definitely a good challenge, but it wasn't possible because of that XS1 Goliath, right? Over at P4, at Basketball Court, that's where they came alive. Early rotations on through, and they almost didn't lose a single gunfight. In fact, I believe they managed to catch up at this hard point without allowing it to be broken at all, and that was just a shocker. But the sentry setup for the side of Aguila Esports, though, very, very questionable, because none of those Huntsman players even made it out to face off against any one of those sentries. And then for the setup of that fifth hard point, it was once again the Malaysians. Once again, they did not allow Aguila Esports to break it. My question is, what would have been the change? What would have been the difference if they had played in that manner from the get-go?
I think it would have been a different story. I think Huntsman would have been dominating, and in this S&D, Aguila, they just got outplayed every single round. AJ couldn't do anything. They were letting Dirt run around. They were letting Alfari get triple, quadruple kills, and that's what happens if you let one player just pop off on its own. And that's gonna be it for that game number 2. Just it was close every round, but it was always Huntsman just taking over.
Oh, yeah. And Derp most definitely shined this time through. And we did see Alfari with his MX-9 just so dominant out there on the battlefield. Streak after streak. He manages to sew together all of those kills, right? But Eds, although we did see a couple of kills coming out of the guy, struggle most definitely he did in that matchup.
Yeah, he really struggled from that in that respawn age. Just very unfortunate. And here we almost saw that comeback coming in from Huntsman, but the cluster strike, it didn't actually kill the person, but they managed to reset it. They got that Goliath that they need, and in the end, they got that triple cap, and it was a GG.
And by the way, if any one of you guys missed the announcement earlier on, Fury has already forfeited their matchup against Smart Omega, so this is the final series of the day. There's none after this already. And Huntsman, they had an opportunity to, push this, extend it a little bit more into the game number 5, and of course, be able to stand a chance, because SND, it's their thing, right? But it was close, but just not close enough. And I cannot help but think, just like Raid, right? The response was a little slow. But in Hackney, in takeoff, it wasn't a slow response. It was just a few misplays, just not really focusing on those power positions. They know of the existence of the power position because Raven shuts down Mickey every single time he wants to take that spawn, but they don't play it for themselves, which is just very questionable.
Yeah, very, very questionable plays. And in the hard point, just perfection in the end, AJ. One break is what Aguila needed. They dropped the cluster. They got their Goliath. And from there, That's all she wrote.
Yeah, but even as the cluster was dropped, it wasn't a win just yet for Aguila Esports. Huntsman, they were still holding their own there. The XS1 Goliath found its way in. Overall, it was such a winnable series for the Malaysians, but I feel like, if only we didn't have that extra bit of information at the start in itself, it would have kept their spirits alive and kicking all throughout. Soldier of the game, none other than the one and only Jobs. 1.14 on the KD, 18 average kills, average death 16. He does a lot, he dies a lot, but he gets the job done.
He gets the job done indeed. Yes, I agree with that, AJ. It's coming in to fight. No fear, Shakespeare. He gets it. And let's take a look at the standings, guys. The final standings of today's Group C. And as we can see, Smart Omega 6-0. Aguila Esports 4-2, Huntsman 2-4, and Fury 0-6. Hopefully, we get to see them back in the tournament, and they can, make a run for the tournament.
And it's not in any way for Team Fury to feel like they cannot match up to the best, because they've made it up to the top 16. It's just that they were put into a group that they could not match up against. I mean, they just need to look at the performance of Tyrant Finesse and Gaijin and acknowledge that, look, even these guys who have been in the scene for such a long time now, they struggled through their groups as well. So as newcomers, Team Fury most definitely have a lot more opportunities to look forward to in the future. I hope whoever who had that family emergency manages to sort that out and it wasn't too much of a concern. But as we go in and take a peek at the final day of the group stage, day number 8, Friday, 25th of February at 8 p.m., you can expect to see the Eastern champions once again in action. And thankfully, it will be a lot of action back-to-back.
Yeah, a lot of action indeed. First game, Blacklist International Ultimate versus C8 Legacy. Match number 2, Black International Ultimate again versus Nervo. For match number 3, it's going to be C8 Legacy versus Nervo. And to close out the day, it's going to be Blacklist International Ultimate versus the Doctor.
Unless the Doctor has a medical emergency, which is highly probable, right? Nervo and C8 Legacy taking them on. The Doctor hasn't won a single series so far within the group. The biggest question, of course, for Group D will be, can the Doctors find a victory? Can they turn everything on its head and keep C8 Legacy guessing towards the very end? Because so far, it just seems like Group D has already been decided in terms of who makes it through to the playoffs, Jericho.
Yeah, that is true. We already know the Blacks International Ultimate, they are going to be that top 1, but not number 2 spot. A little bit secured by C8 Legacy, unless Nervo can make a run for their money. And the Doctor, will they get 3 wins? That's been the story today with the Fury. We thought they were going to get 3 wins, but it turned out to be the other way. But, the Doctor, hey, just maybe they put something in their body that all of a sudden they become superhumans.
Hopefully that is the case. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on that note, this is the close of day number 7 of the group stages of the Call of Duty Mobile Garena Masters. My name's AJ. I'm the Mustachio down here with the one and only VVV Jericho signing off. You guys take care. Good night and goodbye.
See you on the 25th.